Good afternoon, gamers, and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. My name's Mikey. I'm joined by the lovely Tom, who's a different Tom. Hi, Tom.
I am a different Tom. We've replaced the other Tom with an upgraded Tom.
I know you are an upgraded
Thomas.
Tom. The Thomas.
I don't know how much further this goes.
Oh, wow.
Evolution of Pokemon.
Well, we have the evolution of Thomas, joining us to talk about 40k today. Are you ready to talk about 40k?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited for this matchup because there are two newer books, especially the Chaos Knights one. I haven't really seen.
Yeah, we're not.
How we do against the old guard of 2 months ago's book. Tyranids.
Exactly, yeah, we're not going to hold back. This is it. This is the meta. It's Tyranids, it's Chaos Knights, it's Eldar, it's Harley Quinns.
Yeah.
So we're going to get both of them on the table. And we've got a fun match today.
I know.
Because you have Mike and Peter, who are brothers. They've drawn
They're
each other.
competing for their surname.
Exactly, yeah. Whoever wins becomes Mum's favourite.
The other one gets disowned.
Exactly. They'll have to move out of their house.
So if you know,
I don't think they live with their mum and dad, but they could.
If you know Mike and Pete's mother, please send her this link.
Yeah.
So she can know which.
Keep an eye on her
she has
kids.
to kick out of the house.
Exactly, yeah. But it should be really fun. We are playing Death and Zeal as well. So maybe it'll just like slay one brother to the other brother to become the ultimate brother.
I mean, I feel like that would suit a Knights faction well. But
That would do.
I've seen the Tyranid list, man. It's scary stuff.
It's spicy. So let's have a look. Let's get in the top down. They started deploying. It looks like we just started the movement phase.
Yes.
We just obviously let these guys set up and get cracking on while we set up the stream, you know. But here we are. We have 13 Armiga-based Chaos Knights versus...
That's a lot of Armiga-based Knights.
That is a lot of Armiga-based Knights. Versus bugs. Loads of bugs. Seaside bugs. Bugs actually won Best Painted at one of our events once upon a time. So they're super cool. So we're going to go through their lists initially, I believe. Have you got a list ready?
I do have a list ready.
Do you want to go through the list?
As we can see here, Vanids are going first, and what they will be is as follows. We have a rough rope in there. Relics on Resonance Barb on the Europe. You've got the Winged Hive Tyrant. Had its wings a little bit clipped since the FAQ update, where it can't just bounce around the table, basically behaving like Baharov.
Just a little bit.
Still very powerful. You've got a squad of Tyranid warriors in there. Now, normally you see, the unupgraded version of 75, but you've got a little bit of a twist in here in that one of the Tyranid warriors has been upgraded from a Death Splitter to a Venom to the 5 points.
Nice.
That is then duplicated, so you've got 2 of those 80-point squads, and then you've got one with triple Death Splitter. So it has to 80 points, so wants free Venom.
I think so, I think so.
Into his elite slots, we get to see some Pyrovores on the table, Mikey.
Pyrovores!
Now, we've been playing a while. And I don't think I've ever seen a Pyrovore in any edition of 40k.
No, but they did
since today.
They did get a nice glow up, but they weren't that great. But now they're not too bad.
Yes,
not too
they're
bad.
very, very efficient. They're 30 points a model.
Yeah, really, really cheap.
T5 multi-wound, multi-shot flamers.
Yeah, so
not bad at all.
They have a heavy flamer that's strength 6 minus 2 2 damage, or 2d6 strength 5 minus 1 1 damage.
Yes,
which is loads.
Yeah.
It's really good.
A very, very efficient unit. You've then got, in addition to those, you've got a unit of 4 Tyrant Guard. They're going to be accompanying one of the Hive Tyrants around, as we'll get to later. Followed by 3 squads of 5 Raveners. Now, these are another unit that we haven't really seen too much of.
No,
but
nobody
they
used
are
Raveners
very, very
before.
efficient. Again, they are 30 points a model. And they have the ability to Deep Strike, and it looks like, I believe, they will be in Deep Strike for this game. We'll have to get confirmation of that one. We then also have, filling out the list, 2 Harpies. The menace of competitive 40k.
Yeah, there's some contention about the Harpies because they can drop spore mines in the movement phase.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of contention whether, because they don't exist and then appear, are they a unit that's already on the board? Are they reinforcements? But I believe this event has ruled it that the spore mines can drop and then move straight afterwards.
Yes.
Which is really brutal. Really brutal.
You describe it as brutal, I describe it as hilarious. It's 2 different mentalities.
An interesting ruling, we call it. An interesting ruling. It's weird, very weird.
Well, that's where it's going, and everyone signs up for that, and we know it's coming. So, fair play. Have at it. Rounding out the list, you have a second patrol detachment as well. You've got the Swarm Lord in there. Very stock and standard for Tyranids.
Chapter Master rerolls, which is very nice.
Rerolls, no longer double moving the units.
No.
I did double check that because that was also very powerful, but even in his current iteration, still a very, very capable unit.
Sure. Toughness 8, 2 up armor save now.
8.
Yes, 2 up T8. So Walking High Tyrant to T8 now.
So last game we saw Gaskell run through a Night Lord's army.
Yep.
Are we going to see the Swarm Lords run through these war dogs?
Probably.
Probably. Okay.
I'd be surprised if he didn't, considering he has all those Hive Guards to look after him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tyrant Guard even.
And about Toughness 8 to look after him as well. It's not too bad. Then rounding that out, we have a Parasite of Mortex, which is obviously the new unit coming in. That's got Alien Cunning. And then you have a unit of 10 Gargoyles, which you can already see Mike has the first turn, and the unit of gargoyles are shoved directly up.
They are in.
Into Peter's face.
They are in. Look, there they are. They're going again.
Yeah.
They were in his face.
And now it's Judge's back.
They heard you. They heard you. Clearly too loud.
I mean, I don't know why he's listening to me, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what he's having. It's
That's fair.
An interesting decision. But what you could see there, I think, was him trying to just move up and stop those knights from moving.
Yeah, he'd be giving them a lot of free charges there.
Yes.
Giving a lot of free movement.
But
now
it's about that trade-off, right? Because
exactly.
It's a 14-inch movement based on the Armago, the War Dogs.
Yep.
So it's about, well, if he's going to charge me, he gets to make the charge move, then a 3-inch pile-in, then a 3-inch consolidation. And is that more or less than what he'd be getting if he just walks at me?
Yeah,
and I feel like with that kind of a movement, it's often going to be less, but it looks like he's coming a little bit further back. Maybe he's even baiting the charge here, because that is still going to be a charge move if he wants it, right?
I mean, that'd be cheeky. I've just noticed that our command for list is wrong, so I'm just going to fix that. I'm just going to fix that now. So sorry about that, but we were having a small issue with that, which is kind of annoying. But that is cool. But obviously we've got the Parasite of Mortrex. It's got Alien Cunning, so it's objective secured, which is super good. It can do actions after advancing, which is also really nice. Right, we've got the link to the list now. So sorry about that dead link. There we go. There's a list to the link.
With the gargoyles, there was a reason why he's moved it back. Firstly, I have to think about a synapse range.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
It's nice to think about Tyranids having lots of big circles on the board, and they're all interlinking, and that allows them to move across this web.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. With the gargoyles, you're doing that so that you don't have to take leadership badly. But also, because you're playing against Chaos Knights, they have a leadership debuff.
Yeah,
so if you just throw the gargoyles out, you have to take
if it kills one, that's it.
I think it was sort of fails, unless he rolls a 1.
I think so, yeah, because they're only leadership 6. You have the
rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, they have the dread range of Chaos Knights, so they're all really scary, so scary that even Tyranids are scared of them. Unless you're within 6 of a Synapse creature for Fearless.
Yes.
Essentially.
100%. I tell you what, though, Mikey, what I really want to see this... I was getting quite excited about that. Because what I really want to see this game is some real Aggie gameplay.
Yes.
I want to see some aggressive moves. I want to see people running at each other's face. Because last game, it felt a little bit like they were feeling at each other out a little bit. They were a little bit weren't sure about it. And then the moment someone committed, they won the game.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So I want to see people directly
just
in each
go
other's
for
faces, just going for it.
These are good books. These are both really good books. You know, we had the piss of the piss books before.
We did.
We had the wet fishes being slapped all over each other. Now we've got you know, katanas, you know, daggers, bow and arrows, machine guns, anything they can get their hands on.
Absolutely. So. And we can already see as well these harpies have moved down to the bottom right. They look like they're not going straight into bomb on top of the Chaos Knights.
No, they're going for the flank.
The way it was described to me was they're like the 2 AdMech flyers pre-nerf combined into one horrific abomination.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that.
So that means you don't have to necessarily bomb them because the bombing doesn't work too well upon the vehicle.
No, it's not amazing. It's nice. And they've got decent shooting as well.
Yeah.
And they've got good ball control, which is nice. And they're able to tag in, and they kind of they act the same way as a Helldrake would in the last game. They can go in and start doing some damage.
Yes.
And they can just be frustrating, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, looks like we've got some spawn mines as well, but it doesn't really matter about holding this objective fine.
No.
Because if you look at the secondaries Mike's had, I think that's one of the most important things. In fact, it's half his points.
It is.
So, if we have a look at those, Stranglehold, obviously he's going to want to be holding 3 out of the 5 objectives.
Yeah,
good mission to take it in because you've got an odd number of objectives. Taking the 3 instantly guarantees.
Yeah, you've got to hold more every turn anyway, so you may as well take Stranglehold.
So you might as well go for that one rather than with a mission with 6 objectives.
It's much harder to do.
So immediately you've got objective 2 on the top right being taken by his little castle.
Yes, of course. And
then the gargoyles that he's throwing out.
Grab objective 1 and 2. And they're so cheap as well. If he loses them, they're like, what, 60, 70 points for a unit? Okay, cool, I've lost 60 points, but I've already scored 3 points.
And then he's banking on whatever's going to charge into those gargoyles is going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Now, all of these gaps on the terrain, we had an announcement over the intercom earlier, you can fit your Omega base between all the gaps between these.
Cool.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's easy to do.
No.
Because you can still have a car park going on here. For example, if I was
He's definitely blocked himself in a little bit, you know?
I know. It's like the old immobilize a vehicle edition. Where you can
go through this gap until there's a walker stuck there.
Yeah. Like if you have one model in between the crates in the centre and that ruin just to the north of it,
yeah.
then you're going to have a bit of a car park.
Exactly. It's going to be tough. So he's going to be able to just charge everything into the gargoyles, but as soon as it comes to piling, I don't think he'll be able to move much. So
no, absolutely.
It should be interesting. I'm just going to answer a question. Can you not normally do actions after advancing? No, you can't normally advance and do an action, which is why Alien Cunning is so strong. It gives him objectives secured. It makes him count as 5 models, so he's the same as an army gun on an objective, which is nice. He can do actions after advancing. And does he have the gestation sacks as well, the parasite?
I can have a check for you.
We can sure find out.
He does not. He only has a wall trait of alien.
Okay.
What are the gestation stacks?
Well, gestation stacks is something I learned from another list at this event.
Did you?
Yeah, so we actually did a video about lists from this event. One of them being Innes Wilson. He's got a parasite with gestation stacks, which is an action in the shooting phase. Instead of shooting, you can drop down D3 + 1 Ripper Swarm bases.
Are they free?
And they don't cost points. So he could advance. He's playing.
And he's 80 points himself.
Yes. So you can advance, you know. I think it moves like 16 plus D6. Tyranids have some auto-advance stratagems as well. So you move up to 22 inches.
Okay.
If you play Kraken, you move up to 24 inches. You're obsec, and then you drop D3 Ripper Swarms down, D3 + 1. So on average, you get 3 bases, which is super good for like engage.
How many points does a Ripper Swarm model?
I think they're about 11. No, I think they're about 20 points a model or something like that.
Okay. I genuinely have no idea. So.
Yeah, they're not expensive. They're not expensive. You wouldn't put them in your list, but if they're free,
I'm trying to work out how many times you can poo them out to get your points back in just Ripper Swarms.
Shall we have a look? Shall we? We've got to find out. We've got to find out how many points is a Ripper Swarm
now,
base.
while we're here, while you're checking that, Mikey, I'll go through the secondary that Mike's gone for,
Mate.
just to the last. So that is very simply the 3 most expensive units in his army. You've got to kill them, otherwise he gets 5 points for each one that's remaining at the end of the game.
Do we know which ones are the most expensive?
I would suspect,
I believe it's a
Tyranids can
Tyrant
correct me if I'm wrong here, but it would be the 2 Harpies and the Swarmlord, Mikey.
Okay, not the Tyrant Guard. I thought they'd be the quite expensive.
It could be. Let's have a check. Because often you see this with the Harpies, because one of them you can make 4 plus on-board.
Of course.
And the other one you can... Double check it for now. So we've got 180 points for one, 170 for the other. And the Tyrant Guard themselves are 185, so yes, you are correct. The Tyrant Guard, Swarmlord,
makes sense.
And the Harpy with 4 plus on-board save. So at least you have that one expendable Harpy to throw out if you need to as well. Makes it a lot easier to be a bit more flexible with those as well. Although, it does mean that you have to be a bit more careful when throwing wounds off your Swarmlord with the Tyrant Guard.
Yeah,
right.
Because they need to be defensive, but they do need to survive, you know, to get the points.
I mean, you can spend loads of points on a unit just to get you to the last, but at the same time, if you're spending that many points on a unit, you still want to be at least applying pressure.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing Eldar, in which case you can just get Swipping Hawks and just run around the board, and it won't really matter.
I mean, that is what they do.
I mean, it's true. And even then, they're still firing off their assault-free weapons, so...
And you can't complain. So to answer your question, sorry, going back to the Ripper Swarm, going back 15 points per model.
So what you're saying, Mikey, is if I get an average of 3 Ripper Swarms every time I do it, in 2 goes I will have 10 extra points on the board than I started with.
You will. And it doesn't say that you can't upgrade them with Spine Maws. They're little pistol guns that no one will ever take because they cost points. But if they're
It doesn't
free,
say that they can't. Okay.
They could all come with Spine Maws, so you don't have to do it twice. That's free real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Is free. Well, it's free real estate when you park that on the objective and then you just run your entire army into someone's face.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
You know.
But also, for things like getting engaged on all fronts, you need 3 models in a unit. On average, you're going to get 3 models. Advance over, he can't do it himself, drop 3
Now, you would want to be very careful with that one, because it is D3 plus 1. So if you roll that 1 on the D3...
You're gutted.
You're probably okay. You'll
probably
find another way to do it. It's fine. Just do it early in your movement phase, you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's also one of those where you can't CP reroll it.
No.
Because there's a very specific list of things you can spend a CP reroll on.
Of course.
We've come a long way from the early days of 8 when people were using CP rerolls on C's rolls.
Everything, yeah. You just would know. Those are the days, man. Those are the days.
Those are the days.
But on average, on average, you're going to roll a 3. So they're going to get 3 swarms on average.
Yeah, and then you can just, you try that, assume it's going to work. If it doesn't, have a backup option ready to go to get you that engaged, just to make sure.
Exactly.
Because you are still flying over there. I don't believe it has a monster or character keyword.
It does not. Infantry. Infantry fly, so.
The Parasite of Mortex itself can't get you engaged.
No.
Because it's only 1 infantry model.
Yeah. So, a nice little toolbox extra for an extra relic, so. Other 2 terrain pieces in the center, just 2 crates. Looks like not a lot of space on the center objective. No, it's actually 4 crates, as you can see.
Look at that. That looks lovely, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm a big fan of a kind of city landscape, although we have finished moving now.
Okay.
So this is how it's going to look for the rest of the turn. I don't think we're going to see any charges coming off here. We've started shooting instead.
The shooting phase.
So we're going to see how many wounds can be applied to some of these war doggies, and I can already see a few dice appearing onto some of these mini Armiger fellas.
Yeah, that's the thing with Armigers. They're quite easy to kill, but they all have an invulnerable save, and you almost have just lots of redundancy in this list.
Yes.
Because there are so many.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is obviously like going to play into the hands of Peter if he can keep them alive for long enough. If he makes enough invulnerable saves on one of them that draws too much firepower, he's got another 12 behind them. Yeah. Yes, they might get stuck, but there's still 12 of them. They're all objective secured. They all count as 5 models. So they're really good at grabbing the objectives as well.
Yes.
So it should be quite interesting to see what you can do with this.
And this is one of those lists. Actually, we were testing something similar for this for the Welsh WTC team at the end of 2020, early 2021. And I like to call these things kind of like damage checklists.
Okay.
Because you've got so many toughness 7 wounds. Each of these has 14 wounds.
Yep.
And it's basically a case of, I'm going to throw this at you. Either your army can deal with it, or it can't.
Yeah.
If you can, I'm in a lot of trouble. But if you can't,
you're done. You've done, yeah.
So it's a very, very chill way of playing. It's similar to the old book variant with this. It's similar to things like Grey Knights now, which when Paladins, either you can deal with that or you can't.
Yeah.
They just run at you.
Exactly. If there's just too much coming at you, there's like you just got to either hold it back, kill it, or you lose. You know. So.
So we've done the psychic phase as well, obviously, because we've just gone to the shooting phase. We have got Catalyst onto one of the Harpies.
Nice.
And we've done D3 onto one of the Armigers as well.
Yeah,
just chipping away. Not too much of massive import in the psychic phase there, but a couple of little buffs here, a couple of little bits of damage over here.
Yeah, exactly. I presume it's the Catalyst on the back.
I would assume so.
Yeah, because this one is obviously sticking out. So this one is going to get seen by a lot more Armigers.
Yeah.
So obviously, like putting a 5+ Fino Fane on there, it's going to be really nice.
As we were talking about, we have got to the left. Now you could protect your second half and say, well, this one's got a 4+ model, we'll say this one's got a 5+.
Or you could just make one unkillable.
Just make that one really hard. Well,
and it looks like the other one's quite well hidden from a lot of the Armigers as well. So obviously you've got a line of sight down here, but you're going to have to really commit to go and get to it.
I mean, you have to respect the output from the army because it's not necessarily every knight isn't it's big scary.
Yeah. Again, it's just there's just a lot of them.
But there's a lot of them.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I call it how you shots. Bank on it, swing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So it looks like we're going into Peter's turn. So Peter's running Chaos Knights. Let me tell you what he's brought, because we haven't actually gone through his list yet. He's got a Carnivore as his Warlord trait with a Havoc multi-launcher. He's got Eager for the Kill, a Heretic Power Core, and a Warp-Born Stalker as the favour. So I believe that's the... Oh no, sorry, there's another one that's coming up. One of them can cast. One of them, yeah, he's just got them. He's got 3 Brigands. One of them's got the Helm of the Dogs for as a relic. He's got 3 Stalkers with Demon Breath Spear and the Reaper Chain Talon with Mirror of Fates as a favour. Another unit of Stalkers with the Demon Breath and Talon with a Blood Shield favour. And then another 3 Stalkers to finish off the list.
He loves his Stalkers.
He does love Stalkers with the Pyrothrone and Winds of the Warp. So he's made one a Psyker with Winds of the Warp. So he can give himself a 5+ Fino Pain, gives an aura of a 6+ Fino Pain, and he's a Psyker.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because speaking of stalking, he's got one specific individual who's going to be doing a lot of it, going after Mike's characters over here. Because he has taken Psychic Interrogation. Now, we saw that not work out so well last round.
No, in the last game it wasn't great. When you've only got one caster to do it, it is kind of raw.
This is the thing. So,
it's easy to cast,
but
Mike has so many denies. That's the problem, you know.
When we saw it come in, I think the word I used to describe it was risky.
Yeah.
It's risky for 2 reasons. Firstly, you've got the Tyranids with a Shadow and a Warp and all those denies everywhere, so they can shut that down if they need to. Especially if you're getting in range of a character. Well, that character's in range of you to deny as well.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just, they're all Psychers, all the characters. It's only the Parasite that isn't, so.
Exactly.
If he commits the Parasite, then great, but is he going to commit this Parasite? Probably not.
Especially with that on the board. Show you what right? It's not necessarily worth it. But secondly, you've only got 1 Psyker.
Yeah, so no Fino Pain, because you've got a Psychic Interrogation.
Firstly, absolutely. But secondly, if you lose that model...
Yeah, you're done.
You've lost 15 points.
You've done, yeah.
Depending upon how early it happens, right? Now, it is still alive after turn 1. Obviously, Mike didn't just go full ham. I don't know how we would remove it, but... Tyranids has a lot of damage output.
Yeah, it's his only turn 1. He's played quite defensively by the looks of it. So he's only committed the Gargoyles just to grab those 2 objectives.
And we were talking about how I'd quite like some Aggie gameplay, Mikey.
I mean,
I am rendered disappointed as it currently stands.
I mean, the Knights are coming out now.
Oh,
there
he heard me. He heard me.
There we go.
Oh,
He's
here we go.
committed.
Here we go.
It's time.
It looked a little bit like he was going to shuffle.
Brotherly love,
all the
what's
knights.
that? Let's go.
I know. Just realised that the commentators are wanting something.
Yeah, we want to see action.
Yeah.
We want to see Game of Thrones style backstabs.
The glory of winning round 2 is nothing to becoming a fan favourite on Hellstorm Wargaming.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Off he goes. Now, if he's going to make a commitment, right, I want to see a full commitment. Because one of the things we saw last round was we were talking about the Helldrakes last round, right?
Yeah.
You throw them forward and say, well, it makes them have to deal with them, right?
Yeah, and then
that
they're done.
Doesn't mean anything if you're not using that space, right?
Sure.
If I'm sat there and let's say the Helldrakes weren't there, I wouldn't be able to hit anything anyway. It's not costing me anything in terms of opportunity cost to go after those Helldrakes.
Exactly.
Right?
If they're just there, you've got some gun spare at the back, it doesn't matter. You can send the rest of your army forward. And that's exactly what James did in the first game. He sent all of his kill rigs, all of his gun wagons just in the right place, and the Helldrakes just got dealt with the backline stuff.
Exactly. And he didn't get to push up with the space for Helldrakes bought.
Whereas Peter is obviously he's got a car park. So that car park, he's got to move out, he's got to commit everything just so he can get his models into the game. Otherwise, they're sat at the back of the board behind a building not doing anything.
To be honest, I'd be tempted to advance a lot of these units. Now, it depends on how it looks with the gargoyles, because obviously you want to get the extra movement from charging the gargoyles. And
exactly.
However, if that means that you have to not advance and stutter back, and therefore you're car parking and boxing in all your other armigers, I think it might be worth it just to advance, because your objective's secured anyway.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
you've got your armigers. You're taking them off those points. Because if we look at the primary for a second, this is a hold 1, hold 2 mission.
A nice and easy one. Nice and easy.
Yeah, exactly. But also you've got the new progressive.
The tertiary, we call it.
The tertiary. There you go. So there's 2 different ways that you can score this. So you can score 2 points for achieving one of the 2 bullet points, or 3 points if you achieve both.
Cool.
The first bullet point is you need to control every objective on the battlefield, or control at least one objective marker that you didn't control at the start of your turn.
Nice.
So these objective markers in the center, Peter didn't control any of them at the start of his turn.
And he's just taken both.
He gets it, yeah. You'd have also got 2 points in for Mike as well for holding that, because you got 3 points stranglehold and then that. Next point is destroy at least one enemy unit that was in range of an objective marker at the start of their turn. So if you was to kill the gargoyles, you get an extra point.
Yeah.
Right? Now we can still do this with certain bits of shooting, but equally, I feel like often people overvalue the extra points you get from progressive. Because if you score 10 points on the progressive just for taking objectives off people, you don't even kill anything on objectives ever.
Yeah, that's still a really big swing.
I know it's tertiary, but it counts towards your primary.
Yes.
So you only need to score 35 on the hold 1, hold 2 anyway.
Exactly, which is going to be super easy to do.
With this, exactly. Yeah. You don't need to go utterly nuts trying to score progressive.
You don't have to keep committing to grab a new objective. You don't have to keep going for a new one.
Absolutely. So we've got a bit of Aggie play going on here, but a little bit of the car park developing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a speed bump here.
There is.
We just got to get these through here now, and obviously down here he's moved this one already, I believe.
Yes.
So where's this one going to go? There, and then this one goes there, and then that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's like trying to get out of Meadow Hall at Christmas.
Me trying to get out of the gig yesterday. It's terrible.
You're trying to get out of Warrington. I didn't realise it was such an attraction.
So again, the thing is though, it's just this army. Whilst it can take ground, because there is again so many bodies, T7, 5 of Invon, all objectives secured now is so good. They've all had a really good glow up because they're in a new codex, but objectives secured, counting as 5 as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be really hard for Mike to take the objectives back unless he's killing stuff. But don't get me wrong, he can kill stuff. He can kill stuff very convincingly. But it's just like every time he puts something on objective, he's got to put so much on it to deny 2 armigers jumping on it and grabbing it, you know? One armiger here, one armiger there, just to take another objective, so...
Yeah. So we've just moved through the recycling phase.
Cool.
And as you can see, there are 3 points extra on Peter's total for his psychic
done
interrogation.
He's passed
it. He rolled an 11, Mikey. That wasn't getting
shit.
stuck. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Who knew Knights were so good at psychic powers?
That little psycho at the back is just like, mind bullets, baby, mind bullets.
If you encase him in a metal box, he can focus very hard because he's very safe.
It's the opposite of a Faraday cage.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's like putting a bra on your head, you know, to get phone signal.
I wouldn't know. I mean, I've never tried anything of the sort. But we have moved into the shooting phase.
Cool.
So these mountains didn't even move that extra couple of inches down towards the right.
No, they weren't bothered.
But they are focusing down this harpy on the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
So I would presume that's the one without the catalyst, but it's also going to be the one that is not to the last. have to deal with these things.
Yeah,
They're
so
very,
we're quite
very
convinced that they're shooting straight down there. Get rid of the harpies, get rid of the movement, get rid of the aggression, the board, put the push.
But also, get rid of the ability to drop those spawn mines.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we were talking a little bit earlier about how one individual model can block off so much space and force you into that car park. If you look at, if you can just grab the mouse,
Of course you can, yeah.
and your not at all cursed
We're
mouse
doing
pad.
drawing.
If you were to drop a spawn mine in this little section here, in between the middle crates and the bottom ruin, you have completely car parked that entire center of the board and only allowed the knights to go in a certain direction.
Yeah, exactly. Because these aren't Titanic, so they can't walk over anything.
Absolutely. And even then, I believe you have to pile over, or have they changed that? Can you just walk over it now?
You can only big knights can just move straight over it, whether
amazing.
it's normal, falling back, but you can still use board control with the spawn mines against knights. Because what you do is you put them where the knight would land, and then they have to land away from it, so they can't go over. You know.
And we were talking a little bit about how he to respect the output from his. We need to get rid of this blob because they keep rolling into it. And I have no idea how to do it. Well, we're talking about how you have to respect the war dogs.
Of course.
Harpy's gone down.
There it is.
Harpy has gone down.
They just have so much DACA. They've got melter guns, melter cannons. They've got the chain cannons as well, so it's just loads of shots. It's only strength 6, it's only damage 1, but it's just so good.
I think a good description of this is handling Chaos Knights is like sheep herding.
Yeah.
And the harpies are the sheepdogs.
Exactly,
because they're building bits of fence.
Yeah,
the Fortnite zoomers. They're just they're boxing you into your.
Yeah, they keep building. You're trying to shoot, they just keep building. But you just keep shooting harder. You just keep shooting the walls and they go down. You know.
Exactly. Just
also, speaking of taking your mum's credit card and putting in the numbers and the 3 digits on the back,
you could buy some objective markers.
No, not this time. If you want to support the channel, you could super chat today or become a member using your mum's credit card or your credit card if you want to. And everyone who does become a member or super chats will be entered into our giveaway to win 50 quid for your favourite hobby store, whether that's Games Workshop, whether that's Forge World, or a local store to you. 50 quid or your equivalent currency just by super chatting. I'll become a member today. So thank you so much for tuning in and thanks for hanging out. But I'm excited for this game. Again, it's brotherly love. It's a brother off, you know? It's the duff off. Who is the bigger duff man, you know?
So, we're talking about how the harpy went down.
Oh, no.
Turns out it went down like a sack of potatoes.
Excellent.
And it didn't go down to the last shot because there's loads of more shots going into the second harpy.
Oh, shit.
This moving down to be safe looks like a little bit of an error here because it doesn't look like they were safe anyway.
Maybe. But also, the thing is, you know, 2 harpies down is really bad for Mike, but also it's forced Peter to come out a little bit. Like, I think he's played it quite smart. I think, obviously, they're being brothers. They obviously practice together, so they know each other's lists. But this war dog is had to come out now. Could he commit a high tyrant this way? Maybe. He's obviously got 5 more war dogs right behind it, which you'd have to deal with. So probably not that great. He's got more units up here that could commit this way.
Yes.
There's only 3. I mean, only is not great when there's 3 armigers.
Oh my word, that's a to the last gone.
Oh dear, okay, maybe.
The second harpy has gone completely down.
Oh dear.
It took about 7 war dogs to drag that thing down, but you have that kind of redundancy. There are
You
so
just
many
have
war
so
dogs,
many.
Mikey. There's too many.
There's just so cheap. I can't believe how cheap they are.
They're pretty good. Not
Yeah,
bad.
like
It's
what, 150 points or
It's a fun
something?
little build, but these harpies going down doesn't necessarily have a massive impact next turn.
Yeah.
The impact it has is actually in turn 3. Because what you've been wanting to do, take these, fly them over, drop the spawn mine.
Yeah, for sure, for
Now,
sure.
just because those harpies are dead, it doesn't mean that Mike doesn't have the capability to block in these war dogs next turn, because he does.
Yeah,
Got
it's
the
just
Raveners
harder
still
now.
coming in. As you pointed out, you've got ruin units in this top ruin and the right ruin. You can jump out and block.
Yeah.
But what it's going to mean is you don't have those units available for the turn afterwards to then continue blocking.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
that's when
he's
it's gonna
losing
cause
his
the issue.
redundancy much faster than Peter is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, maybe he should have committed the harpies, got the move blocking
I
early.
don't think he expected that kind of damage, though.
No, I don't think so.
Like, I don't know how above or below the average that was in terms of save rolls or damage dealt. But that was a lot of
Again, it's
damage.
just melty,
And he's
you know?
also shot the...
I'm
Okay.
surprised he shot the gargoyles. No, so the gargoyles are dead. That's great. Not holding the objectives. That's great.
It's a thing.
But he could have just charged them and probably murdered them.
Yeah, I mean, you could charge and take that extra movement we were talking about where it slingshots you further up
But
the
then
board.
again, you know, as we said, it's a 5 objective mission. He's holding more right now. Does he need to move forward, or does he just let Mike come after him?
I feel like at this point, I mean, you're also looking at no prisoners as an ability for you to get points. Now, of course, you're not going to get no prisoners for the harpies because they're monsters, but you are going to get it for the gargoyles. So that's 1 point of no prisoners. And then you're going to have Ruthless Tyranny, which is a very, very good secondary. But
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
assume that Peter's going to get 2 more goes in second interrogation, going to max Ruthless Tyranny, and then it becomes a case of how many points can you chip off no prisoners, compared to Mike.
Yeah.
He's got his own stranglehold. He needs to come out.
He needs to keep grabbing that little objective.
Yeah, so it becomes a trading game.
Yeah, exactly. I think like if Peter had committed with the knights, he'd probably charge a knight around here, have a knight here to finish. He'd have another knight here, and then this one probably would have charged and be here.
Exactly.
This gives all of this nice, easy charges. But now he's got to fly all the way over and commit.
Yeah.
Because if he fails to charge, he's wide open. He's right in the middle.
These guys are going to have to come out regardless.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because they need that objective.
So, and the closer they come, it means all of Peter's extra knights have an easier chance to get them because he's forcing them to come closer. So maybe shooting was the best idea because it was a guaranteed kill, you know?
The only risk is a potential that these knights get boxed in here. Now,
For
these
sure.
knights in the top left-hand corner, I don't think are at much of that risk because you've got to stay outside of certain distance, keep striking down with the Raveners.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of go all the way around, so you need to commit something large there. The other ones, it's then a case of, one model can actually just block you off here, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really have that one model now, the Harpies have gone down.
No,
it doesn't
exactly.
have the ability to block that in. And this is why I'm going to talk a little bit about a unit that isn't on the table, Mikey.
Oh.
The Biovores.
The Biovores.
The Biovores are a really, really good option in terms of just pooping out those spawn mines just to block space, especially in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Brian, thank you much for the super chat. I appreciate you. You are a legend. You're an absolute legendary person. Thank you so much. Hellspice.
The hybrid.
It's here. It's here, man. Make sure you join the Discord, and we'll get you into the giveaway. Really appreciate the super chat, buddy. Let me add you into the giveaway. And there you go. So we'll be doing the raffle tomorrow. If you win, join the Discord. I'll be able to message you on there. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yeah, I am interested now, though, to see. Looks like we're about to move towards Mike's turn now because
so Ruthless Tyranny, that's take objectives, right? Is that what we said for that secondary? I'm sure we get confirmation.
It is a take objective secondary, but it's quite easy to do when you've got.
So he's got to take
an
secondaries.
entire army that counts as more models than it is.
Yeah,
it's not bad, is it?
He's got to take. He's got to take and hold by holding objectives.
Yep.
He's got to do Death and Zeal, which is take objectives.
Yep.
He's got to take objectives with Ruthless Tyranny and kill stuff for no prisoners.
I feel like he's letting the side down by taking no prisoners like your interrogation.
It's just like interrogation is the odd one.
They're missing the theme.
Hey, Trolley Cleaner, thank you so much for the 20, you legend. What a babe. Thank you so much for the super chat. Keep it the great way. Really looking forward to AOS and more Horus Heresy. Hell yeah.
Oh, there you go. I'm looking forward to Horus Heresy.
Heresy looks
What
fun.
Legion are you doing? I've seen your...
I've paid...
I've seen it, but are you doing another one?
I don't think I'm going to do a different one because Games Workshop got so annoyed at me playing Iron Hands as a different faction.
I mean,
they
I did
made
see
me...
the Gulliman Gate on the screen.
The Gulliman Gate?
The red... Blood Ravens,
we had the Red Blood Ravens Gulliman. I've had Minotaur Blood Ravens. I've had Iron Hand Blood Ravens. They've forced me to paint an Iron Hands Legion.
How does it feel being invited to that event despite your crimes against legions when Valrak sat here with his full
listen,
Imperial
some people say I might be the most influential 40k content creator, changing the tournament pairings for the entire country, being called Warhammer's top creator by Games Workshop themselves. But this is just all hearsay. I don't know, mate. I don't know.
That would get shouted down in the courtroom.
Of course it would. But I mean, if there was someone who was the most influential content creator, I'm sure they'd be very cool, called Mikey, and be streaming Goonhammer Open right now. I imagine. You know, it's all hearsay. It's all hearsay. I don't actually know. I don't actually know,
So
but we'll see.
We're moving into round 2.
Okay.
So, we've also seen Peter move into the Harbinger of Dread.
Harbinger of
Chaos
Dread.
Knights. That means two things. First of all, if you want to shoot against a Chaos Knight unit that is not the closest, you have to pass a Dread test. Okay? And if you can't pass a Dread test, you can't shoot against that unit.
So a Dread test, for those who don't know, is basically like a leadership check from 7th edition. So you roll 2d6 and you have to roll underneath your leadership on 2 dice. If not, you have to shoot the closest unit. So as the game goes on, he could change if he goes to darkness, to doom, to whatever. But for this one, he's gone for, do we know what it's called?
He's gone for darkness, which is called Geist Storm.
Geist Storm, not Hellstorm, Geist Storm.
Geist Storm. That's the That's the off channel for Hellstorm After Dark.
Hellstorm After Dark. Hellstorm After Dark says Geist Storm. So if he wants to shoot a unit that's not the closest, he has to pass a leadership on 2d6. And obviously, being Dread. The Dread test, if you get too close, your leadership starts getting reduced.
It does. It does. But also that has a second effect, Mikey. Okay? And that is, the fairly dread test. If that enemy unit declared a charge against any Chaos Knights units, any charge rolls made for it are halved.
Ooh, that's
spicy.
Big.
Spicy.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
That's very spicy. So obviously, again, by Peter holding back with those knights, forcing Mike to commit, forcing Mike to get over to be able to like get into combat. Now he's going to pass a dread test, or he's halving his charge. So those easy charges that he would have had just been reduced because he shot the gargoyles.
Yeah.
Maybe we were wrong. We were wrong all along. Who needs free movement when you can make him fail charges and die to demon breath spewers?
You don't need. It's true. you don't need free movement where you're already where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So.
I don't value free plane tickets to the States after the last time my flight got cancelled because I'm not going to the States.
Well, exactly.
I'm happy right here.
Exactly.
You did not need a free...
You're Rob Sec. You count as 5 models. Why would you be anywhere else?
He didn't need a free plane ticket into the Tyranid deployment zone because he's on the objectives.
Exactly.
He's fine. Chilling.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, and as you can see, it's actually quite... I always like looking at this, Mikey, where I'm just looking at the players and they're having a think.
Yeah, they're having a big thing. Look, you can see those spore mines. You can see all those knights on the left, look.
I tell you what.
That's a scary look, isn't it?
I painted some spore mines the other day.
Yeah.
And I have never actually seen them look nice apart from this time. This actually looks really nice. So,
there you go. You can see
we've actually got some of the Raveners already on the board. So the rest of the Raveners, so we've got some on the right here, some on the left here, and I assume there's one squad of Deep Strike as well, but we'll have to get that clarified just to see where those guys are. Stormlord is giving out his buffs.
Ooh, who to? Who's taking
He's so buff, he makes everyone else buff. It's like genetic. Like, you go to the gym a lot so much that your kid becomes swole.
Oh, okay, cool. Swole Lord.
The Swole Lord. Exactly. So he's handing those out. And as you can see, you've got the Pyrovores in there as well. You've got a little bit of a castle coming here. And it's going to be about what Mike decides to fan out. What do you think he should fan out, Mikey?
It's gonna be hard. I say he's in a really tough position. If anything he commits, he's going to lose. He does need to take an objective though, because can spore mines hold objectives?
I don't believe so. I think they're rubbish.
He does need to go out and grab objective 5.
Okay.
If he does that, he's in a nice position. He's holding to because it looks like he's going for it with the Ravagers anyway. So I can't quite see the tackle. So sorry.
No. So if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at this from the perspective of my secondary points. These are things I've chosen to do. So there really should be the things that I'm quite good at doing.
Yeah.
And if I can't manage those, I've probably got a problem. Now, we're already looking at to the last. We've already lost the Harpy.
We have lost 5 points there.
Means 5 points down. So maximum we can score is 95.
Yep.
Okay. Stranglehold and bring it down to the other two we need to be looking at.
Yeah.
So to the last doesn't really matter. It's pretty simple. Keep the Swarmlord and the Tyrant Guard safe.
For sure.
So, Stranglehold, this means that Mike is going to want to hold 3 objectives this turn. And as we can see,
he's about to commit.
He's about to commit the Hive Tyrant. Now, the Hive Tyrant can, after it's fought, jump out into the sky, can't it?
It can,
But that would mean he's not holding on to that objective. So
oh, wait, no, I think they FAQ'd that. Encircle the prey. I think they FAQ'd that.
It happens at the end of the phase, right? So it can still be hit.
Oh, I thought it was in the movement phase they changed it to.
Oh, it might be. Have a check.
Shall we have a look?
Yeah,
Shall we have a look?
We've got a lot of rules in this game. It's worth clarifying.
There's a lot of things. You know, we're running the latest books. They always get FAQ'd. They always have clarifications, etc. So let's take a look at the FAQ for the Tyranids and just double check, because obviously what you'd normally do is fly out a Hive Tyrant, hit something, and then fly straight away.
Yeah,
just go.
Absolutely. It basically made you invulnerable. Very Baharov-esque. So he's looking like he's going to try and take that central objective. I mean, he's also going to take the bottom right objective. Stranglehold. So that is going to be a rotation of the board, Mikey. I love to see a good old rotation.
Ooh, we love that, yeah.
So rather than just going straight in and trying to match wound for wound and damage for damage, he's turning the board around and trying to dance around the engagement and only picking up the sides.
Because he just needs to hold 3. He doesn't need to be on the entire board. That's, I think, what a lot of people fall down in playing Warhammer is they go, 5 objectives, right, I'm going to take 5 objectives. Yeah. But you don't actually need to do that. No. You need to play with 3.
Yeah, 100%.
You need to play with 3 well.
It's not about smashing your opponent, it's about winning by 1 point or 50 points, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Especially in this format where it isn't like a differential system, right? The second one we need to look at is bring it down. So I believe all these armigers are worth 2 points each for bring it down.
They are worth 2 points each.
So that's going to mean, if he wants to max this out, Mike is going to have to find a way to kill 8 armigers. Now, he's already had 1 turn, so that's 20% of the game done.
Yep.
So he's going to need to average 2 dead armigers a turn to max this. Now, he may not even need to max it, right? But then he's going to have to find a way to work out which points he can deny Peter.
Yeah.
That would be things like a psychic interrogation. Things like no prisoners, which you can very much deny in a similar way to what Tom was doing last round, right?
Sure.
In terms of Tom was taking his characters at the back and putting them out of reach of psychic interrogations. So it's like, right, well, you're just not getting points.
Yeah.
You're not getting points this time. So he could take those units and keep them back, but then that's exactly the opposite thing of what he wants to do with the Stranglehold. He wants to be fanning out, taking those objectives, holding the knights back.
Exactly, yeah.
He doesn't want to be losing models to do it.
And this is a problem with throwing the Hive Tyrant in. I should just say that Encircle the Prey is at the end of the movement phase. You can remove it now.
Oh,
it used to be at the end of any phase or end of the turn.
So basically, what we're saying here is Mike is banking on that Hive Tyrant deleting that army.
Yes, but then the counterplay, obviously, he can take. I think the Hive Tyrant can take out one knight. You know, it can quite happily take out one knight. The problem is the other 5, Tom. The other 5 right behind that building. Sorry, the other 7 or 8.
I was wrong with to the last, by the way.
Oh, really?
Tyrant Guard.
Uh-huh.
A Hive Tyrant.
Oh.
And.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean...
So he's still in
that Swarmlord is probably still going to die.
Yeah, the Hive Tyrant's had it.
The Hive Tyrant is going to die.
The Hive Tyrant has had it.
Now, even if he doesn't kill this Omega, I believe he's still going to hold his objectives, because those, to me, on the northwest side of that objective, look like Tyranid warriors.
They are Tyranid warriors.
Which have objectives secured.
So then it goes back to number of models.
And he has 4 or 5.
The Armagus counts as 5.
Yeah.
So he's got to kill it.
Yeah. So it looks like, at which point it's like, why do you even need the Obsec? He's not going to hold the objective regardless unless it dies.
Pretty much.
So I would suspect that Mike is going to put something else on there.
Yeah.
Just to guarantee he gets that.
I think his plan is once the Hive Tyrant dies, he'll still have something on the objective, because he doesn't have a lot of cheap units. That's his problem.
Okay, so not only are the Tyranid warriors Obsec, Mikey, they're double Obsec.
Oh.
Not just
double
troops.
Obsec.
This is M&S troops.
So he does have 5 on the objective.
He does, but that's still only contested.
Yes.
That's not going to be enough for him to take his Stranglehold.
This is the other problem with this mission, with the crates right on the objective. Like, as per the rule book, as I push my glasses up and so do my nose,
okay.
you can't put terrain on the objective, but in this mission they have. So
yeah, well,
at the end of the day, we just follow the mission pack.
This is Nottingham, okay?
No.
And Nottingham has a... We do what we want.
We do what we want,
okay.
Yeah. We made the game in this city.
Yeah, exactly.
So we do what we want.
This is the progenitor of Warhammer.
Yes,
and
exactly.
We will do what we want when we want. And exactly how we want it.
I just wanted to say that the drones. Drone bioform of the spore mine means they can't hold objectives, they can't charge, can't do actions, automatically pass morale. They ignore it for when people deep strike, so they can deep strike on top of spore mines.
Very good.
And you ignore them for lookouts there. So they basically don't.
But you can't walk past them.
You can't walk past them.
There we go.
One thing they.
They are useful for blocking stuff.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that they're useful for.
But that's why he's had to commit the warriors into the far corner.
Well, speaking of things that are only useful for one thing, Mikey.
Oh?
We have committed the Raveners out of Deep Strike.
Oh.
Could you, where do you think they should have gone? And where do you think he's put them?
Raveners out of Deep Strike. I think they should have I want to pressure over here, but he doesn't really have anything to back it up.
Exactly.
So I think they should have just pressured over here and just and swarm this objective and just put so many bodies on there.
It feels like he's trying to commit as little as possible, right?
Yeah.
He's playing that very
playing defensive
gameplay. So what's happened is he wasn't able to get anything down onto his bottom right-hand objective.
Okay.
So what he's done is he's taken the Raveners and deep struck from on there. So they're not really pressuring anything. We're not really threatening anything. Now they still obviously have their threat range and movement, their charge and what have you.
Yeah.
But they have come down to just hold that objective for now to make sure he gets that stranglehold point. But equally, then you start looking at things that are in the open, the Armors can really deal with. You might look at the Swarmlord, you can't get that, just because of the Tyrant Guard there. Here. You can't really get at these Raveners because they're in the ruin here, and now they also have Catalyst on them as well.
Nice.
So Catalyst has been cast off just to make it a little bit harder for one of these War Dogs wants to come around and try and make the charge.
Yeah, he's going to get one War Dog over, not two. I don't think.
Men, probably not going to kill them all.
Sure. And he will kill. A good old slapping. I love a good old Swarmlord slap.
Naughty boy.
The swarmy slap. The Slap Lord.
The Slap Lord. He's been the Buff Lord and the Slap Lord. He's accruing titles like Daenerys Targaryen over here. It's not too bad. So,
but what we've seen is we've obviously got the Raveners, I believe they are, or the Warriors just here. I think they're Raveners that have gone through the building just here.
Raveners. And you've got a couple that have just come through the back of that wall as well.
Yeah. Maybe we could get an angle of this side of the shot so we can see him in the building. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what he's intending there.
I think what he's going to do is just hope for wrap and trap, because a lot of these guys...
Are they mainly gun fellas?
Can't quite tell. I think they might have lots of
I think there's a couple of
chainsaws.
blades.
We're going to get a closer shot so we can have a proper
yeah,
look. But if these all have guns, he can just tag them, not die, and then hold them in combat, which would be nice.
But if they have guns and blades...
If they have guns and blades...
It's a bit risky.
Which they do, Tom. I mean, a couple don't.
I mean, could we just get some quick clarification as well to see which unit of Raveners was Catalyst was cast on?
Yeah.
Because if you could cast it on this central unit, maybe are you drawing out the blades?
I'm throwing out all the blades. But these ones have guns.
It does have a little Gatling gun there, yeah.
But there's
just
3
looks like
blades.
Homer Simpson's here.
And we do his hair as well.
Yeah. Other cartoons are available.
Yeah, we got the mouth. And then it's Homer Simpson, everybody!
It's modern art is what that is.
Because did you know they called Duff, like Duff Man?
That's why we've got these two on the stream.
That's why we've got Simpsons on the stream.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out soon which unit of Raveners got Catalyst cast on them. So we can see if he's really going for that play to try and make it nice and risky. Or if he's just going for a safe play. Because if he's safe play... I don't feel that central unit. So the
unit that's committed,
bold.
The unit that's committed has got Catalyst. It doesn't have an invuln. It's going to go against 5 knights, probably.
I'm going to be honest, Mikey. I respect the balls.
It's ballsy, but that's what you get with the Duff men. You know,
brave play.
Very brave play.
If it works. I mean, I'm not going to say fair play because we don't do results-based analysis here.
No.
But it will have got him significantly further ahead in this particular game.
If it pulls it off, I'll applaud the man.
He
don't see it.
He went for that percentage play and it paid off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like bluffing a pair of 4s in poker. I don't...
It's just shit, but it might win.
Yeah, exactly.
But there we go. We've got
Sometimes
the charge.
you've got to take the best option that's available for you. Sometimes the highest chance of success is 40%.
Exactly.
So we are going through the shooting phase, done a few wounds off to a couple of war dogs, but nothing massive. No, and then we're going to be moving into a charge phase. Mike looks very...
We've just
I
seen
can't
the
tell if that's nonchalant
charge.
or grumpy, but he has made the Hive Tyrant charge directly into the...
He had to,
there.
you know.
Yeah.
He's obviously kitted out as well. He's a really good Hive Tyrant.
I tell you what, mate, with these boys here, I'm worried about them headbutting the streaming apparatus.
They are quite tall, aren't they?
They're quite tall.
They're
and I say that as a 6'4" man.
You know? They're made different up in Liverpool.
Mate, it's like the Netherlands. They're all massive.
There you go. You can see the Raveners charging now.
Yeah, now I'd be interested to see how many he tags here.
It looks like he's tagged 3.
I mean, to be honest, what he could even do, if we go back to the top down for a second, Mikey, he could tag 2 and then just consolidate in front of the remainder.
I think that's what he's doing if you look.
Yeah. He doesn't need to fight them all.
No,
he just needs to form a net.
He's tagged these 2.
Look at this net.
Look at this nice net.
That I've just made.
So yeah, it looks like he's tagged 2. The 2 with... Sadly, they both got swords.
Yeah.
Swords aren't fun for Raveners.
No.
Because they have a lot
of them as well.
Catalyst on there.
Really helps with the multiple damage profiles.
Yeah, for sure. Because you obviously have the sweep attack, which is 3 damage, and then you have the swing attack, which has 3 damage. Yeah. Then the sweep has multiple attacks, but it's only 1 damage.
And that's why it's very, very important. Because if you have the sweep attack with the 3 damage, you've only got 3 wounds.
Yes, exactly.
So having a catalyst on there, you roll 3 dice, so you feel no pain. Odds only going to pass 1 of those.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have to commit another attack, try and get that in. Kill the Raveners, which now means you have to take the less efficient attack because it's now more attack efficient because of the catalyst.
Exactly,
It sounds weird, I really phrase that badly.
Yeah, so basically, instead of 1 going through and killing 1, on average you need 2 to go through for the big attacks, and they only get like 4 attacks, so he's on average going to kill 2 Raveners.
Exactly.
So...
Yeah.
But if he goes to the sweep attacks, which is more attacks, he's more likely to kill 1 or 2 on average, but he's not going to kill them all. So
100%.
Unless Mike gets really unlucky and doesn't roll a single catalyst save, it's just not going to go off.
Yeah, and we also see this knight in the oh my word!
The Raveners killed the knight.
Raveners do damage?
They aren't that bad.
Oh my word!
They aren't that bad.
On my word!
But that does a lot more damage than I realised. But there you go, fair play.
So there goes that pile in, which means they're only going to need to fight against one of the Raveners now. And apparently, Mikey, that was the psych interrogation knight.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no, indeed.
But there you go. There's the net.
Can we just? Was that definitely just like interrogation night? Because I thought it was a blue one at the bank.
Oh no! Why was it so far forward,
no.
Tom? Tom, why was it so far forward? Why?
I mean,
why?
I said I'd only use this term in the most extreme of circumstances, but I think that was a bit grief.
But there you go. So this.
Maybe you didn't think he'd go for it.
These 5 Raveners have not only killed the knight, they've tagged 1, 2.
I bet he's made a big net.
3,
No.
potentially 4. But also what he's done is move block the entire thing.
That's we could do a highlight reel of this event, and that would be in there.
That'd be it. That'd be it. What a play,
Mike. Well done. Well
Raveners
done.
are kind of sneaky.
And we were talking a minute ago about that to the last that isn't gone, but I thought it was.
Yeah.
And how it was now a maximum of 95 points were available to Mike.
Yeah.
Maximum of 85 are now available to Peter. Or 88 even, because he has passed one of his interrogations already.
Yeah, so he's just lost 12 points.
Completely in the mud.
Yeah. That is bad.
That is brilliant.
That is brilliant. Really bad. Maybe he should have just scrapped psychic interrogation, got the female pain on there, and that knight might be alive.
Maybe just don't take it.
Yeah.
But just don't take
just don't take that interrogation.
Just take engagement off. Like, we'll see Peter's secondaries in a second, and we can have a look at what other options are available to it. So you have Ruthless Tyranny. I'm not sure which tree that's in.
No, me neither, to be honest.
We need to double check that. But you have, I would hope that's in the tree that has engagement on fronts in. Because otherwise you could have just taken engagement on fronts.
Engagement on fronts is like auto take with this many arbigers, you know?
Well, I mean, because you
have
don't
13.
care about changes.
You have 13.
You're a vehicle.
Yeah.
You put one in a
There's
corner,
one
you
in
take
each
it.
corner.
It's
You've
fine.
got 9 left.
You've got a 14-inch movement and advance.
Exactly.
You're a big fast. You're a zoomy boy. But yeah, that was a very, very. I don't want to say, oh, that was a big mistake from Peter, because I think it was a little bit of a mistake leaving it that far forward.
Yeah.
But it was very well punished by Mike. So full credit to him.
He's really taking the first turn on the chin where he just couldn't get to anything.
Yeah.
Lost 2 harpies and gone, you know what? I'll just retaliate. And there you go, another Amiga gone. Only 11 to go. So that objective now happily secured.
Yeah.
Scored, bring it down twice. And we've got overrun from the Hive Tyrant looking for a move.
He doesn't need to go back in the sky, Mikey.
No, he does not need to go back in the sky. So I believe it's called overrun. So after he's fought, if he kills it, and it's
Kraken.
It's Kraken, of course. So if he kills something, he's not in engagement range. After he's finished fighting, he can make a normal move.
Yeah, so we just got confirmation from the table that it was overrun. Yeah. And we were talking a little bit about how Mike needs to average killing 2 Omega Knights every single turn.
He sure does.
He just killed 2. Now, but one of the center did explode.
You
yeah,
know?
one of the center did explode, so you can see a little bit of a wound mark on his knight, but slightly to the bottom left of the crates. Yeah.
Just here. So
you would have taken a couple on the
lost a Tyranid warrior.
Well. Yeah.
And
lost a Tyranid warrior. He won't care. He's even going to die anyway.
It's fine.
It's like the gargoyles all
they're
over
already
again.
dead.
Yeah,
they're already dead.
He's got his objective. He's got his stranglehold. He's got 2 bring it downs.
Yep. So
his
there you go.
His snugly behind the wall.
Exactly. That was a good. Again, losing 2 harpies, a lot of people might get disheartened.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep playing. You know.
100%.
You're not out until you're out.
100%. And now we have to see how Peter reacts to that.
Yeah.
Because it
only
very
11
much is
nights to go.
I know it's very easy for us to sit here and have seen the top down and be completely detached from the game.
Of course.
Happening. When you're in the moment, you can get very fixated. It is a narrative game at the end of the day. You're getting fixated on what each individual is doing, how it's moving around the table.
You get in the tank.
Zoomed in.
Yes, you get in the
that's
tank.
A great piece.
You don't
want to
get in the tank.
I'm stealing that. That's great. But now he needs to make sure he doesn't tilt. Now he needs to take a step. I always do this. I take a start on my turn.
You like take a step. You like to prowl, don't you?
I do like to prowl.
You do like take a step
back.
back
Around the table like a shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you take a step back. You evaluate the situation holistically from a position where you're not even in the game as a third party.
Yep.
And then you work it out. You saw Mike doing it at the start of his turn.
He did. He
took a little bit of time. He thought about it, and he went for it. And look at the results.
And then it paid off. It clearly paid off.
Now, if we're looking at this holistically, what do you think Peter should be aiming for? We can talk about the secondaries a little bit. That's 11 points on taking hold.
Yeah, because he got 3 points turn 1.
Of course, it's primary.
Yes.
Yeah, of course it is.
Taking hold is part. On the scoring system, taking hold is part of the holding and the tertiary, but it's all the primary. But yeah, so he's just scored 8 points holding 1, holding 2. And then he's got the 3 death and zeal from last turn. Sorry, direct assault he was called. So what does he need to do? He needs to. He just needs to take that middle objective again. The problem is he's just lost almost half his knights to Raveners holding him in combat.
He has.
You know.
He has.
Again, we talked about move blocking earlier, using spore mines.
Yeah.
Being able to use the Raveners to just hold everything back is going to be really, really brutal.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to commit down this corner. So what he needs to do is use these 3 knights and start committing this way. Which
I want to see some Aggie gameplay, Mikey.
We want to see some Aggie. We want to see some drama. We want to see fighting.
We want to see
fighting in person and on the table. It's going to be amazing.
Because you're going to die just as quickly, depending upon whether you go Aggie or if you go defensively with this list.
Exactly.
Because you've got the same number of wounds. Maybe you get an extra couple of combat phases in there for your opponent.
Yeah.
But you'll also be removing stuff which counteracts that a little bit, right?
But we don't have, look, as you see, he doesn't have a great deal over this side of the board. He's got like some Raveners, the Parasite. All right. Parasite's cool.
Yeah.
Offset counts as 5. Cancels out on Armor when he needs it.
Yeah.
But if he brings a couple of Knights over here, there is nothing to really. The Raveners are good, but if he shoots and then charges them, there's nothing to respond. The Parasite ain't great.
No,
it's fine.
It's good for pooping out.
Ripper swarms.
Pooping out some Ripper swarms.
That's it. Yeah.
That's about it, really.
So if he can commit this way, that'd be good. And then over here, he just needs to deal with these Raveners in his corner.
So we were looking a little bit earlier about what Mike had to trade to get his objectives. From the other side now, I think we can be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this bottom right-hand corner objective. So I know this mission is a hold 1, hold 2.
Sure is.
So if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, well, Mike isn't going to hold the center objective because I'm going to kill him off there. But even if I don't want to kill him off, I can move this Armiger that's down in the bottom left-hand side. Just up here and just hold that because I'm objective.
It's done.
And I've got more models because you only have a maximum of 4 because it counts as 2. And now you can see measuring in the bottom right-hand corner. There's only Raveners in that building.
There's only Raveners. There's not many Raveners.
Even though you're a bit split up by this net that's formed in the middle of your army, you can still take that one that's on the other side of the net, shove it onto objective 5, and even if it's not getting you anything because you don't have Stranglehold,
you just hold it.
You take it off him.
Yeah.
So that denies 4 points from the side of Mike here, because he'll only be holding 1 objective going into his turn, so he'll be holding 2 or be holding more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That could give him some good value.
Exactly.
Is it worth trading that Armiger for those 4 points? I mean, you're going to trade it anyway, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think...
I mean, it's either that or he just holds the middle and waits for that high tyrant to jump out and kill him again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's got.
But I don't think holding this Armiger back here saves you any more Armigers. In fact, I think it's probably worse because that gives you the opportunity of multi-charging with these things over here, right?
It sure does.
And either way, either leave this out here and the Hive Tyrant comes over and charges you, or you push it out and the Swarmlord charges you. The only difference is you give that Swarmlord more freedom by pushing forward. So it's basically now a trade-off of freedom of Winged Hive Tyrant for 4 points.
For sure, yeah.
I'd take the 4 points, bro.
I mean, it's 4 points. It's a big swing in his favour. The Swarmlord comes out, isn't quite as fast, so he could retaliate next turn as well.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that he can do, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is, I think up here in the top left corner of the board, all these are these have all got guns.
Yeah.
So he can't really commit and then charge.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Tag is an option, isn't it?
Because he doesn't want to get tagged, which, as you can see, while he's moving, is committing up here rather than straight ahead and going for it.
Yeah.
So, because of all these swords are down at the bottom with the Raveners getting chopped up.
Getting chopped up by the Raveners. 100%.
Exactly.
I mean, going back to those 4 points about primary, I want to talk a little bit about, is it really 4 points? Is he going to max his primary anyway?
I think at this rate he will be maxing his primary. If he drops one Armiger, if he moves one Armiger onto this objective every turn, and holds up here because there's nothing to there's nothing to bully it, there's nothing to push her. Yeah. Again, one unit of Raveners will come in, kill a knight, maybe tag another one. Okay, cool. Right, that's it. That's done. That's all he can do.
Yeah.
If he keeps chucking a knight here, one after another, he's got 5 down here.
They're all stuck.
Yes, they're all stuck. But if he keeps this turn, moves this here, next turn another one moves on, next turn another one moves on, and he just pressures this objective, he's just going to keep maxing out his primary anyway.
Yeah.
By taking the objective back, because they are only fighting over that middle one, really.
Yeah.
And then just killing stuff off objectives.
If we can go back to Mike's scoring for a second, I'd like to see just how many primaries he's taking. So in his 2 he only got 4 points in his primary.
Yeah, he only held one.
That means he's now going to have to get himself 39 points in the next 3 turns, because he is going first.
So he's got to essentially max out his holding for the next 3 turns. That'll get him 36, and then if he's lucky, he'll be able to get more of the secondaries as well. There you go. You can see that knight committing, grabs that objective from the Tyranid warriors, can shoot them off, can charge if he wants to. He probably doesn't. And he just holds it. He does not have to do anything. He can just ignore them if he really wants to.
Same with bottom right, as we were talking about. And what Peter's done there very diligently, So it shows that his head is still in the game. He is still thinking about it. He's not panicking. He's made sure he's outside of 3 inches of both of those big boys.
Big boys.
Winged Hive Tyrant and the Swarmlord. Make sure he cannot be heroically intervened upon by either of those 2 units.
Let's see if we can get a nice shot of it.
Mike has to deal with that Armiger in his own turn.
Yeah. And he's moved block the Swarmlord.
Yeah. He has moved block the Swarmlord.
Because the Swarmlord wants to go get him. You can't fight him through a wall without... He's going to be wide in the open. So he's just moved blocked in there as well. So the Hive Tyrant will be able to come out and kill something. But the Swarmlord is going to be stuck. The Swarmlord has one option now. It's just go kill that guy. But he's going to be stuck. He's not coming out. He's not pressuring the objective very much. He's not. He might be able to consolidate onto the objective, but then he's wide in the open, hopefully. I think that's probably Peter's plan in this one.
So, Mikey, you know how we were talking about small mines and giga useless for anything apart from blocking?
Oh, no.
Turns out that's not quite true.
Oh.
So that spawn mine in the middle, you see this knight, it's moved up?
This one?
Yeah, the one in the centre.
This boy?
It walked over a spawn mine, Mikey.
Oh, yeah.
And
Has
the
it
spawn mine
exploded?
did 3d3 mortal wounds.
Oh, no. Where was the spawn mine?
3d3, Mikey.
Where were they?
They're very small.
They are very small.
Yeah. But you never quite know. But oh, no, it's one of the ones in the back and the bottom right. Not one in the centre.
That's why I got confused. So the spawn mines were in this corner, essentially laid a mine. You know, little claymore.
They did. The one thing the Harpies did was leave a brood.
Yeah. Okay. So each one on a 2+ does D3 mortal wounds. So obviously there's the 3
blew up.
So D3 mortal wounds.
So that has taken that knight down to 2.
Only 2. Well, I think that Swarmlord's not really that bothered.
It only took it down to 2. Rubbish.
Yeah, the Swarmlord's not that bothered about him anymore. I just want to say, massive thank you for everyone tuning in. You're all legendary. Thank you so much. Chapter Master Varak says, well, look at all the competitive losers. Varak wishes he was here. Where are the Imperial Fist placed? They're placed 6 feet under, mate, where they belong.
I mean, with only 50% of the field are losers at the minute.
This is true. But not the 2 Dutch men.
Which means that we have about... How many people are at this event, Mikey?
I think it's 128.
So we have about 64 winners.
64 Chads.
Yes.
Giga Chads.
Whereas, if you're not here, you can't be a winner.
No, you're not a Chad, not Giga Chad, and nothing. Also, Neil Kerr, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. And Louis says, Raid, girlfriend Fleshy's week. For the Chapter Master for Dawn and the Emperor. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Really appreciate it.
I'm interested to see how this pans out now.
Yeah,
it was very much
interesting.
A shooting phase, because we saw how much damage that last shooting phase did.
Yeah, the last shooting phase was brutal.
But equally, there's not very much to shoot at.
No, he's going to be... The thing is like, there's not very much to shoot at, but Peter's going to be able to take out a lot of the little stuff, like the Ravenous as he's begun, you know.
Although Mike is littering the table here. Yeah. Look what he's done. Why is that Ravenous still on the table, Mike?
Oh my God, he's going to bring it back on. Joker.
Rubbish.
Tell him on stream, take that Ravener off. But no, he could get rid of the Raveners, get rid of the Warriors. And I think Mike is obviously set up with his Raveners in here, with his Warriors in here for a turn 2 play. He'll push his Warriors back out here with double obsec, and he'll push his Raveners this way and try and kill these.
We've got a lot of options for screening again.
Exactly.
It's not just on that top side. You've got those Raveners that deep struck in last turn to hold the objective.
They are just here.
They are there. Which means we're going to get an even bigger bodyguard of that objective.
Yeah.
In the Swarmlord walking around the other side of that ruin. That could be kind of fun.
The Swarmlord could just smite that off the board.
Have you come across Vargard Oberon, Mikey?
Vargard Oberon?
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen him before. He teleports everywhere.
He does. And when he's within 3 inches of Nemesis Zandrak, Nemesis Zandrak can't be targeted.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay? I'm a big fan of this.
Super bodyguard.
So, what you can do is you can stick the bottom of Nemesis Zandrak out of your ruin and hold an objective.
What a
and then have Vargard Oberon on the other side.
Do you know they pretty much got rid of that from the entirety of the game except for Necrons?
Yes. Now, how does it work with Tyrant Guard, Mikey?
The Tyrant Guard, sadly, they got nerfed. So they used to do that. Okay. But they essentially give Lookout Sir to Hive Tyrants. That's what they do.
That's still okay, though.
So they count as a unit that can stop them being shot if they're not closer.
So do you have a specifics? Is it like they take 1 mortal wound instead of a hit?
No, it's essentially they can't target the Hive Tyrant if the Tyrant Guard are closer.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. So it's essentially the character.
I've been playing too much Gene Stealer Cult, so I assume we just pass it back.
You have. So it's essentially the character rule, but what the High Tyrant would not normally be able to benefit from because it has more than 9 wounds, but they get it from just the Tyrant Guard.
I wonder if you could form a nice L in the middle of this ruin on the right-hand side here. With the Tyrant Guard?
Just here.
Yeah, a big L on the board.
Big L.
A big L, which is what one of his players is going to be taking. Okay.
L plus ratio.
Exactly. And then stick one of your Tyrants out on that objective. Because rather than sticking the Swarm Lord inside the really bottom right corner L, because that would cause a problem in terms of movement. Like we saw this last game with the Chaos Knight. Yeah. He's trying to move around the back of this big L.
Exactly. It's tough.
If you can keep the Swarm Lord out in front of it, it gives him more flexibility and freedom for his incoming turns.
Yeah. The problem is with Tyrant Guard is because they give lookouts there, if they're not the closest unit, then you can shoot the Swarm Lord. But it has to be the closest unit as well as being the Swarm Lord not being the closest unit and being visible as well. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough.
Is if you look at how hard Peter's committing in that center.
Yeah.
Because he knows Mike's going to want to get that stranglehold.
He is.
But he also knows that if he throws one on there, Mike's going to be able to kill it and remove it and hold the stranglehold. So what it looks like to me, when you see multiple knights committed to holding this objective, it makes me think he's wanting to hit back, but also he's saying, right, you want the stranglehold? Come and get it. Come and get it. You're going to get the top right? Not a problem.
Yeah.
You're going to get the bottom right as well, because you've only got a 2-wound Omega on there, and you've got one of your big hitters down there. What are you going to give me and commit for these two knights to guarantee you hold the stranglehold? Because you're not going to get top left. Although... it's the same problem.
And as I said, with top left, he's got a bit of redundancy. He's got those 5 Raveners, you know, that could come in. He's got the Tyranid Warriors as well. He's obviously committed this knight here, which slows down the Swarm Lord. It slows down the Tyrant Guard. Yeah. But it did blow up the Spore Mine, so at least they're not going to cause him problems later.
I know. You need to play around those Spore Mines. And also the pivot.
Yeah. Also, he's Obsec, so he's taking this objective from Mike at the start of the turn.
Getting the primary points.
Again, denying some primary. Making him have to deal with him this turn. He has to do smite. He has to charge, you know. But again, if he loses these two, he's slowly running out of redundancy. He's lost 2 knights so far, still 9 to go. He's in a nice position for Peter to be in. But it's just if Mike kills 2 this turn, it'll be a game. Yeah. If Mike doesn't kill 2, Mike will struggle, but if he kills more than 2, I think it just goes in his favour. The snowball effect happens.
He also wants to make it a very good trade, though, because if you were to commit your entire army, let's say hypothetically, I don't think you can, but let's say to kill these 2, you get your point. But now it's all in the open, flopping in the wind in front of all these Armagas. And we've seen what they can do.
Exactly.
Right? Whereas Peter has removed everything that he pretty much could from last turn, and the same previous turn with the 2 Harpies. So he's removed the 5 Ravenous. That'll be 15 wounds for no prisoners, so it'll be up to 25.
Point and a half.
He's also removed the Tyranid Warriors from the centre. That's another 9 wounds.
Yep.
So that's going to be up to 34 wounds removed. Not that I'm counting, but...
Not that you're counting,
I'd like to know more about what's going on at the bottom of the players. Okay.
For sure. So it looks like Mike's been measuring up with his Biovores, because obviously he's got Biovores in the top corner.
Yes.
Oh, no, I think he's got Biovores as well. I think they're just to the right of this, where this camera is. On the right-hand camera, can we get the back... the top right building back up, so we see Mike's deployment zone, basically. Can we just pan the camera to the right? Oh, okay. Yeah. My apologies. Ignore me then. No, I thought you had Biovores. So
maybe I wish you had Biovores, because I like to talk about Biovores.
Because Biovores, they can just spit Spore Mines as well.
They can.
They do look very similar, though.
Spore Mines are very powerful.
3d3 more wins, everyone. 3d3 more wins.
Yeah.
But hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Again, just like to remind you, you can see the list as a pinned comment in the chat. You can grab the list. And also, if you want to support the channel, become a member or super chat today and enter to win a £50 hobby voucher to your favourite store.
Can I win one to the Hellstormwargaming merch shop?
You could win a £50 voucher to the Hellstormwargaming merch shop. We sell dice. We've got objectives. We've got squad markers. We just had a big restock of squad markers.
Those are good.
Which is super cool. But yeah, 50 quid hobby voucher to anywhere in the world, any store that you like, any that you want. So appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you all.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so round 3, Mike's retaliation time. Mike's retaliation.
We've already seen this in that we've had Mike's primary come in.
We have.
He's had 2 turns of scoring primary. He has 10 points.
That's not good.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
Yeah. So that 4-point block on the bottom right looks like it's going to pay off, because it will be a full 4 points and not 4 points he was never going to get anyway for capping it.
Exactly.
So we're now going to have to see if Mike, because Mike needs to start pushing at some point. This is going to be
how does he do it?
over halfway through the game at this point after this turn.
I don't think he commits over here. I think.
Do you think he gives a stranglehold?
I think he sends this way.
Yeah.
He starts pressuring these 3 because there's the thing is, if he goes here, If it goes here, it kills these two. Amazing. There's another like there's what 1, 2, 3 knights available that can all do this and go like that, or or these two can move this way and one can jump on the objective.
I mean, it depends on whether we can form another net. You have got bottom right.
I think he can do it here.
You can form a
net. He's got 5 Raveners in this building.
Are you ready, Mikey? Here's what I think.
What do you think?
I want to see him commit everything.
Just send it.
Send it. Send it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
YOLO. Is that what we're saying?
Just send it. Just send it.
Send
These
it.
Raveners down the bottom right. I want to see him go. Send it. Now, not even that, mate. Further. Send it. Big charge. Block it in.
Gains him nothing but a net. Fine.
Yeah. Force a net.
Send it.
Send it. And then...
I have Tyrants. Send it.
You can keep doing that thing where you lob out little bits of units and say, right, I'm going to get my points. And I'm going to, lose a couple of units for it. And I'm going to keep doing it, keep doing it. But he can't just send out a couple of little units and get his points this turn. So either he needs to give the points or he needs to commit more. And if he's going to commit more, commit everything. Sure. You might as well. You might as well at this point. So I want to see him sending it. Come on.
He's got to do it.
Aggie gameplay.
Aggie gameplay. We love a bit of Aggie gameplay. Let's go for it.
Sport Mines coming out there, Mikey. And as we know, those are the MVP.
They're going to do it. They're coming for it.
They are going to get pooped out here. So
he just has to move near him,
He does. I want to see the Swarm Lord take a risk. I want to see the Swarm Lord run over and punt that stupid Armiger directly off the board, okay? And then hold that objective. I want to see him do it by himself.
He could just mind bullet it, but if he charged it, he could.
I mean, if he mind bullets it, he's not stood on the objective.
Exactly.
So that's a problem. So
the problem is, if he charges it, stands on the objective, he's closer to be shot. That's the problem.
He is. But if everything's shootable, nobody is.
Ooh,
I'm not sure that's true, but it sounded like an incredible quote.
He's dead.
So I went for it.
He's dead. Spore Mine got him. Gone to the Spore Mines.
So, we were talking a little bit about how you could do it in the psychic phase. Or you could just kill him in the movement phase with Spore Mines.
Okay, why not?
Yeah. Now I'll move on.
Now he can move his Swarm Lord out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Grey Knight psychic phase.
Oh my
you
God.
want to kill it and then move.
Yes,
that's how it works. It's exactly how it works. So sending it.
It was 5 Spore Mines in this corner, right? 5 Spore Mines. 3d3 last turn, 2d3 this turn. Yeet. High Tyrant comes out.
Indeed.
Can still fly up, charge them, kill one, and then fly back if he wants to. Or he could just go. I think he's going to probably try and get these Tyranid warriors on here. Looks like they're getting played with.
Yeah, he's sending it.
He's doing it.
Come on.
I know.
Oh.
That's not sending. Michael, send it right now. I'm disappointed too.
I think we need to.
There you go.
Can we send him a £50? Can we get Mike a ticket and raffle, and then if he wins, we send him a £50 voucher from Robbo Coaching.
From Robbo's Coaching.
Yeah.
Yes. full send ahead. That's all we want.
Just send it.
Only
just
send it. Only sends. Only fans? No, only send it.
Only send it. Mate, this is the most exciting thing I've seen.
Right? It looks like he's coming out with the Pyro Balls. Or is that more warriors coming out? It might even be more warriors. What's
he's
he
looking
thinking?
like he's measuring something up for shooting, so it might be the Pyrovores, you know.
Let's see.
They have 2 forms on their flamers. They have a longer range one, which has fewer shots, and a shorter range one.
Send it!
Send
it! Let's go! That's the Pyrovores. Out they come.
I have to say, can we get a close-up on these? Because I do like the bases.
Can we see the Pyrovores as well?
I want to see the bases.
On the side cameras.
Yeah.
We'll get one. We're going to get one. Other Tom, not evolved Tom. Pre-evolved Tom.
Pre-evolved.
He's gonna
Wait a minute.
Send us a
Pre-evolved
picture.
Tom just managed to show me that you can actually lift up the camera.
Yes.
But I did not know that.
I did not show you
Maybe
that.
I'm the pre-evolved Tom.
He's doing it. Let's have a look. There's the Pyrovores and the Tyranid warriors coming out of that building.
I do
coming
like
out.
these bases in this scheme.
It's
nice.
Seaside Nids.
Yeah.
I said to him, as soon as you're bored, mate, let me know. I want them. I just want them.
This just looks like Skegness.
It does.
These are the inhabitants.
Now this is Mablethorpe.
I haven't been there, so I couldn't comment.
Skegness. That's what it is.
In what way does?
Are you watching from Mablethorpe? Let me know.
Have you seen the the retirees of Mablethorpe with cannons strapped to their backs?
Hey, the caravan strapped to their back.
It's equivalent to the gym in Mablethorpe.
Yeah. There you go. The Pyrovores coming out, be able to put some pressure on this night, be able to do a few wins. Raveners come out of this building, going this way.
They have. Sending it.
Send it. Now, don't forget. The Parasite is there in all this mess.
Is it?
Yeah, it's there.
I thought it was a unit of 5 Raveners.
No, I think it's a Parasite as well. There's 6 bases there, as far as I'm aware. We're going to get a closer shot as that, because Tom is a babe, and he's on the ball. You're a babe, you're on the ball.
Thank you.
But no, that is just 5 Raveners. Where's the Parasite gone?
Is he hiding?
Is he
going to poop out some Ripper Swarms?
He's in the building.
Do that in this list,
if he's still in the building, that's okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, the parasite's there.
We're hunting.
Oh, we're looking.
This looks like one of those shaky cam videos where you're looking for Bigfoot.
It's Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
You know?
We're hunting for Bigfoot or ghosts
Here we can find a
some
parasite.
kind of haunted house.
Oh yeah, it's just like you're like walking around and a guy goes around the corner, then you hear a. What was that? It was a parasite of Mortrex.
Now on the History Channel.
Exactly.
Something from the far future. On a tabletop.
So it's just at the top, as you can see. Now, if this works, it could work. Because what you can do, charge the Raveners, kill this one. Kill this. He's got the Tyranid warrior lined up as well, so you can see there too.
Indeed.
Kill
with
that
a venom
knight.
cannon.
Yeah. Then this guy is holding this objective. He charges the parasite, piles in, consolidates. Parasite is offset, counts as 5. Booyah.
That's a nice little dog you've drawn there, Mikey. You're doing all right. Well done. Beautiful. Yeah, he's got a big red nose as well.
Woof.
There you go. Woof. Lovely. This is the Lord Flashheart play, or at least it would be.
This is it.
It would be the Lord Flashheart play if he'd sent it across the board.
I
Because
mean,
I'm looking at him, and he has dice in his hand, which
does.
implies to me this is the shooting phase. He's now rolling some, and he hasn't sent it in the bottom right
we've
corner.
completely lost the dice camera,
And that
but
makes
that's
me
okay.
very sad. He's not sent it all the way, Mikey.
He's not.
He's only 2/3 sent it.
Oh, I mean, he's committed. I think he's done the right thing here. He's going to take this objective because it is, again, as I said, it's hard. It's easier to take this one. He kills this one with a charge, and the parasite consolidates, cancels out the armor, and he takes the objective.
We have indeed started shooting, Mikey. Psychic is done.
Okay.
Movement is unfortunately,
Done.
sadly for me, done.
Very sad.
The Tyranid warriors, however, are not done, and
Go
they're
for
shooting, but they're not shooting into that knight on the top left, Mikey.
No, they shoot
They're
in the middle.
Middle.
Ooh.
They see he's wounded.
Yeah.
They see
so I
this
think
glowering big bug creature in the
the
center,
big boy.
towering
I think
over the other one.
his plan is to shoot this one off the objective.
I agree.
Tyrant kills this one in combat.
I might have been tempted to fire the Pyrovores first, because they can only shoot that one
they have
unit.
limited range.
They have
don't
limited numbers of targets. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but it's worth checking. It's worth checking. So we're going to try and remove a lot of these from the center one. Mike desperately wants that stranglehold. That is his priority.
He needs it. He needs
it.
it. He's almost got it already. All he does is just charge onto that objective in the top left, and he has it.
Yeah.
So,
yep. 100%.
interesting.
Although there is obsec on that top left objective anyway.
Well, that's what I mean. The parasite's obsec,
Of course it is.
and it counts as 5. So he puts that
counts
on
as 5 as well.
because
That's
of
from the
alien
wall of
cunning.
alien cunning. Very
So
good.
he charges onto the objective by charging, consolidate.
Yeah.
Because it's a shooting knight, so it's crap in combat. Charge, consolidate. Nothing happens in combat. Sits on the objective. He has a single Ravener on there, and he just has to kill this knight here, which
He
looks like.
does. Or
I think he's going to multi-charge, but I think he should just charge this one.
he could just get more Raveners on there to charge it. Because I believe they count as... Do they count as 2?
They're not obsec.
But they're not obsec. But you'll
So
have obsec on the
he
objective anyway for
he
the
has
parasite.
to get the parasite on there as
Yeah.
well. I
This
think
is where the,
that's what he's thinking about.
This is where he fails the dread test and halves his charge range and rolls number 1.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. We forgot about that.
No.
I forgot about that.
And he forgot about that until that happened, which it hasn't happened yet, but it will.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I just hope that Peter hasn't forgotten about that, because if that happens, I mean, that'll go on the highlight reel, but
That will be on the highlight
funny.
reel. It will be.
But for funny reason.
Nids are a tough army to collect because as soon as you finish painting yours, you see another colour scheme to like better like this one. I agree. That's exactly where I'm at. I hate my Tyranids.
That's a very good
I
comment.
brought my Tyranids just to remind myself that they look shit.
Is this
It's all blade.
the tree stealer?
This is the tree. That's a good one.
I don't know
said
what you
Gene
called it.
Treeler. You said tree stealer because we brought plants. It's all
I really
about,
hope that model's still okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all about set dressing, gamers, right? When you're doing any video coverage
Mikey,
of anything,
I feel like they both don't want to be in the same tree.
it's all about
It's
set
like
dressing.
cats. They've
okay?
set their
brought plants.
they've set their territory. Okay. One of them's had a wee in it.
They're just hissing.
Yeah.
Hissing.
It's fine.
So we
I
brought.
feel like we can get some magnets in there as well.
We could, yeah. There is magnets on the basis. So it's all about set dressing anyway. So that's what you got to do. It's a tree. It's a tree stealer. The tree was stolen from the studio, but it works.
Mikey,
Yes.
you know about that dread test we were talking about?
Oh, no.
And luckily, it's only shooting. The Ravenans in the top left of the screen
Yeah.
wanted to shoot the armor gun in the center.
Yeah, they got like piddly guns. They're all right.
They
They're
do.
Not great,
They're
but
okay.
They're fine.
But unfortunately, they failed their dread test,
Uh-huh.
which means they have to shoot the closest target instead.
Which is the one at the top.
And if they kill that,
Oh, no.
What's that going to mean for Parasite of Mortrex?
Mortrex ain't charging shit. That's the problem.
Most likely. Yes. They've left it alive on 3 wounds. Fortunately for Mike.
Oh no.
That was quite good value dread test failureage.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard to shoot that knight, you know?
Yeah.
It's really
I'm wondering
hard to
how damaged that central knight is now. Because that is looking a little too healthy for Mike.
It's going to have, what, 4 wounds?
Okay, so the one at the top side, Mikey, has 2 wounds remaining.
That's good. That's really good.
And the
for
one on the bottom side has 8.
This one, okay. That's
Which doesn't really matter.
No,
you'd assume the Hive Tyrant's going to eat it anyway.
He does need to kill both, though.
He does. He
What
does.
can shoot this one? I don't think he has anything left.
I don't know if he has more guns. We'll have to get into the charge phase.
I think he's
We
charging.
get in the charge phase.
He doesn't
It's
kill
still
it.
alive.
It's holding the objective. It's obsec. He
Now,
can't kill both.
we were talking a little bit about the dread test in the northwest.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But it was an unlikely situation.
Uh-huh.
But there's an unlikely situation that could pan in Mike's favor. If he kills this knight and explodes it, that's what he's got to hope for if he's going to get...
I think for both, isn't
Stranglehold in that center of it.
Yeah,
if
this
he gets
explodes,
both here, he's doing effectively the exact same thing that Peter was doing. If he can knock Peter off both of these objectives, top left and middle, that'll knock him down to 4 in his primary. So as bad as the primary is going for Mike at the minute, it'll be the same for Peter. Now he does have that bottom of turn 5 scoring, which means that he probably has more of an incentive to have a cagey game than Mike does. Because if things are alive at the bottom of turn 5, he'll get a big swing as he tries to push onto those objectives with his entirely OBSEC army.
Sure.
Right?
Now, the Parasites made the charge, the Ravenous made the charge. I didn't see any dread test roll, so they may have forgotten about that ability.
They may have, or we may have missed it and they may have passed it.
Yeah. And we might have missed it, but they might have forgotten about it. But they made it in combat, you know? So the Ravenous are in, the Parasites in, not in base contact, importantly. So the Parasite can pile in 6 straight into the objective if he needs
Exactly.
So.
Because it has charge, so there's 2 conditions for activating a melee. 1, you're within 1 inch of an enemy unit.
Yep.
Or 2, you have charge.
You have charge, yeah.
Now, if that Parasite ceases to be within 1 inch of an enemy unit, it doesn't matter because it can still activate.
It can actually move 6 inches.
Charge. 6 inches on the piling.
Yeah. No, it's 3 and 3.
Yeah, okay.
No, so
it's
6 inch
like...
piling and consolidate together.
So we have got those Ravenous in now. They are going to be having a swing in a second. We're just working on.
Can they kill this knight? It's only got what? 3
wounds remaining.
Yeah, it's done.
That was the one. I mean, we were surprised when it killed the entire psychic interrogation knight.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be gone, right?
In fact, I've got confirmation that Wardog is dead.
Okay.
In fact, it's so dead, its petrol caught fire.
Excellent.
And exploded.
And it's gone. Boom.
It exploded all over.
Kaboom.
The beach goers.
Kaboom.
Claythorpes.
It's just gone.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's just a burning wasteland, is that what you're saying?
It is. It is a burning wasteland.
There you go. So that knight's gone. The Parasite consolidates 6 onto the objective, counts as 5, OBSEC. They consolidate first to create some extra room, protect the Parasite, and also grab the objective, which is really good.
Wonga.
Loved it.
That's good value.
That's it. There's Stronghold.
What do you think of that play? I don't think that was quite as exciting as the last one.
No.
But it was solid.
It was solid. Strong. Fine.
Yeah.
You'd say it's fine. When we want drama, when we want red weddings, you know. Red christenings because the brothers, I guess. We just want everything to die. It's not quite we're going that way.
Got grizzly. However, we're not really going to see the Hive Tyrant has just had a strategy spent on it that allows to re-roll its wounds in melee.
Ooh, that's good.
Which it is good, and it would take down the armor gate. In fact, there it goes now.
There it's gone.
But now we need to see if there's an explosion coming through.
No, it looks like
it's not too valuable. Now you do still get the stranglehold here.
He does.
You've got top left, top right, bottom right. Overrun comes out again.
Yeah, Overrun is so strong on a flying Hive Tyrant. It's so strong.
I mean,
being able to drop in, kill something, and just fly away again is so strong.
I love that they took that out in the FAQ, Mike. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. We got rid of the other one, but you can still do this, which is great.
Now it just costs him a command point every time.
Yeah, I mean, and because he's jumping straight behind Tyrant Guard, even with those massive wings.
Yeah.
That even if the armigers get around to be able to see him, that's it. Just can't shoot because they're just giving out that bodyguard, protecting him from behind a wall.
We've been talking a little bit about the value of Mike's plays and how you can immediately see him wrapping stuff and blocking it off immediately has value to him.
Yeah.
we're not talking as much about Peters. And the reason why is the play that he made last turn is effectively always going to have value this turn instead.
Sure.
Because it was never about, I'm going to make sure that I hold this objective next turn. It's about how much Mike has to commit to make sure that he gets what he wants from that turn, right? Effectively, you've escalated the conflict, right? You said, right, you're going to need to commit a load to achieve this, right? So, we've also just had the morale phase come in, and that means that 6 mortal wounds have now been done to the Ravenous based on a strat from the Chaos Knights in the morale phase.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
It's really
not
good.
a bad strat at all.
Really, really strong.
Ravenous Techo Shades or something like that. I can't really. Sounds about right. Anyway, chat will correct me on my pronunciation.
They will. They're going to give it you.
Oh, we've
Do you
got
wanna
a
read
card.
it?
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I'm going to be honest, Mikey. I'm reading the card, and I can't read it any better. So, I think it says Ravenous Terror Shades, but it's one of those like pterodactyl that has a P at the start of it. Thank you very much, Table Boss Style. I'll let you pass you back that card. So what we're talking about is here, Mike has had to commit so much to this play in order to get what he wants out of that turn, specifically Stranglehold, because just leaving the objectives and not taking those points was never really an option. He has to make that commitment to make sure that he's going to get those points down. Because if he just says, right, fine, you're just going to take the points, I'm not even going to try and commit for them, it's going to cause a big issue. Because that means that he's not going to end up able to catch a Peter here. So, he has to commit for those points. If he's just saying, well, I'll get the points, it means that I've already worked it out 5 turns in advance and knows exactly how many points he's going to get, or he's not entirely sure and he's going to have to risk it. So, he's now had to push out all of these units, and the trade-off is going to be, what is Peter going to be able to remove in return? He's lost a few of his knights now. He's lost 4 of them, which means I believe you'll have around 9 still on the board here.
Sorry about that. I'm back. I returned.
For Peter to fire back with.
Excellent.
Right? So, we're talking about what the trade back is going to be, because now Mike has had to commit so much to get those points.
He's right out there.
And he's had to do that because of Peter's moves in the previous turn.
Exactly, yeah.
So, Peter's moves in the previous turn weren't for that turn, they were for now. And now we're going to see that hit back. And I'm curious to see what he's going to do. So I'm just going to have a quick count of the knights here. You've got 3 on the bottom side, 2 on the center, and then 2 on the top side. And then I believe 1 of them... Is that still alive?
Where did this one come from?
Are they littering the table again?
I think they might be littering the table.
I think they might be littering the table.
Is that knight alive in the middle of the
But I
board
can
next
only
to
see
Mike?
7 knights remaining.
Is that knight alive next to Mike in the middle of the board? It's come on from strategic reserve?
I didn't hear about any strategic reserves.
We did not get told about any strategic reserve.
Are there any more strategic reserves we don't know about? Just the one. Okay, well, there are...
Well, there you go. There's another knight.
That's a thing that happened.
There it is. The pressure's on. The pressure's on.
Can he come on from that edge?
Pardon?
Can he come on from that edge?
No, he can't come on from that edge. But it's the
It's okay,
it's
okay. It's a brotherly banana move.
It's okay. We'll alert them.
Yeah.
So, Tom, if you'd like to tell me you can't come on that battlefield edge,
Oh,
it has to be the
unless
other
you
two.
keep striking.
If it's strategic reserve, it's not from a battlefield edge, but we'll see.
Mm.
We'll go and double check. It's fine.
Yeah, make sure that's all right, because
We got it.
that's
With
caught us all
TOs
by
around
surprise, hasn't it?
We're TOs round here. I don't know how it is.
Have you been promoted to be the guys in TO now? All right, fair enough. So, let's have a look at these knights here, see what the pushback's going to be. Looks like we've still got a lot of melee ones on the bottom side. We've got 5 at least down there, and then 1 melee one at least on the top side. And then I believe we have another one with the Gatling on the top side. That Parasite of Mortrex and that Ravener unit should not be too long for this world. Probably can get those charges in there and remove those units. And then it's a case of trying to box in the Tyranids now, not just a case of trying to box in the Armigers. Because you don't actually have that much left to throw out to keep screening these knights off now. You've got Pyrovores pushing up. They're not really going to be doing too much in terms of screening. Well, you don't want them to be doing it.
Right.
You've got the Tyrant Guard there as well. Have you got a conclusion, Mikey?
Hot gossip from the table.
Oh my, straight from the source.
I got it from the horse's mouth because I asked. So, this knight cannot enter strategic reserve from here, but this knight has deep struck because a Chaos Knight stratagem.
Very sneaky.
But they're asking about strategic reserve because there is another stratagem for the War Dog to go into reserve and come back on later.
I'm sorry, what?
The War Dog can enter reserve.
Does it enter the sewers?
It does. It just disappears.
That's one big sewage drain.
One big dirty dog.
It is. It's true.
So the war dogs can go off the board and come back later.
Yes.
So they'll be able to enter basically anywhere
Apart
along
from
here in this
outside
little
of
pink
6 inches
zone.
of this.
Well,
right?
well, no. It just has to be outside of the deployment zone. It can come on from this corner.
Oh my!
Only within 6.
So it's not just outside of 6 inches of the deployment line.
No.
thing.
So this is basically where he can enter in this pink bubble. This is where he can come in if he wants to take them off, which would be quite nice to
That's
put
a nice
pressure over
drawing as
here.
well, Mikey.
Thanks.
That
Nice,
looks like,
quite nice to put pressure there.
You ever play those flash games with motorcycles when you were a kid?
Line Rider.
Not quite. Well, I mean, that way a terrible line rider course, but you understand.
Line Rider, great game. Great
There
game.
you go. Solid. Spend hours on that. So we are seeing the push come back out of Peter now.
Yeah.
We are
He's
seeing.
going for it now.
He is.
He's sending it.
I mean, they're all sending it, but only up to the halfway line.
Yeah.
It's
It's just a free. It's a free objective game. We don't need to get 4.
This is what long ball 40k looks like.
Yeah. I think he pushes back here, gets rid of these Raveners.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Easy. He takes that objective by putting 2 on there, but he just pushes back and gets rid of the Raveners. Sorry, I keep calling them Ravagers because they're ravaging all over the place.
You see him about as commonly as Ravagers as well.
So he pushes back there. He puts another knight on here. This one's damaged. It's only got 2 wounds remaining, so he puts another one on here, and he still has 1 for redundancy.
What if I were to say something very controversial?
Oh, he should just quit. Give up.
I'm not that harsh, Mikey.
Okay.
Why does he need that central objective?
He doesn't need it.
All he needs to do is stop Mike from holding 3.
Yeah.
You don't need to stop him from holding 2.
No.
You can stop him from holding 3.
Yeah.
So why not just commit to the top left and bottom right?
And then Mike's screwed. And that looks like
And
what
then he
he's
has
doing.
to. Rather than spreading your resources out and letting them pick up on the easiest one.
For sure.
You can always kick him off here from those positions anyway. Because if I could just borrow your mouse a second, Mikey.
Oh, she can, yeah.
If you are on this bottom right objective and this top left objective, I can still, with all my shooting, remove this guff by shooting at it in the center.
Yeah, and
I don't need to physically be there.
He
I can
just
knock
holds
you
the
off.
objective and shoots the other one, you know?
Yeah. So
I guess this is probably a problem with the old car park from earlier, is not being able to like commit that way because there's not that much room around the bottom and the side.
I mean, it is very much devolving it less into kind of MSU game and more of a brick up game.
Exactly, yeah. It's just going for brunt force.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that favors you as the Armigers anyway, but it's one of those where at least think about it and consider it. And I'm sure he has, because he's played this list far more than I have.
Yeah.
And infinitely more than I have with a new book. However, that is an option that you could think about, where you send it fully to 2 objectives rather than spreading your sending to multiple addresses.
The problem is every time he commits on this objective, he has a Swarm Lord and a Hive Tyrant to deal with. Like the Hive Tyrant can pop out and keep doing this, and it could do the same here. Yeah. But he'll have the Swarm Lord to deal with as well. If he puts like 2 knights on there, he might just lose 2.
The alternative is, well, forget the bottom right one, take the center one.
Yeah.
Right? But the trade-off there is that means Mike is going to get his primary points from bottom right.
Because
of this terrain piece down here.
Yeah, this is played into his favour with those Raveners.
That is allowing him to hide units, whereas you can't hide your units as easily in that center. And that's why if I was going to think about it, you'd have to think about top left, bottom right.
As I said, again, I think it's a fatal flaw for a lot of people who do play Warhammer. When they play 5 objective missions, they try and hold 5.
Yeah.
When you just need to hold 3.
Yeah. You need to keep focusing on exactly what you need.
Yeah.
And that's why I was talking a little bit about when you were gone. I was talking about, well, Mike can just sit off and say he doesn't need those points, but he can't really do that because he needs those points to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But sometimes you can do that. Say, well, okay, how many points is the maximum my opponent can score? Let's say it's 79. Well, I only need 80 points to win the game, so I can afford to lose hit points here, 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 and here.
Yeah, it just gives you that the spare points that you could have scored and just breathe that you've lost, you know?
Exactly. And actually, that's coming into play quite a lot here, because psychic interrogation.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it is gone.
You only need to score 89 points to win.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's before no prisoners.
Exactly,
comes in as well, because I don't know what the cap is on Mike's list for no prisoners.
It's quite a few. I know that for sure. You know, because like each Ravager unit is left like 3 points. So,
but this is one of the things you always have to think about with these secondary objectives, like no prisoners, like assassination. Sometimes like bring it down as well. Although if your list is entirely 14 wound vehicles, it doesn't really help you.
No.
But it's one of those where you're thinking, I am giving my opponent some measure of control here.
Sure.
And it was a point people like, I'm just going to go off this tangent here. It's a point people made with scramblers.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, well, if I'm taking scramblers, I may not get all the points or any points, but it's made my opponent deploy units back. And it's like, well, how worth it is that? Like, you can be screaming scramblers off with 2 units of incursion and a character.
Exactly,
it's like,
that's the entire board.
I mean, I lose 15 points for the purposes of controlling 3 crap units.
You lose 3 by taking that secondary.
Yeah.
You know? I think you lose another 12 because you can't commit.
By virtue of taking a secondary that has a lower max,
yeah.
you'd at least expect the points that are accessible to be slightly more accessible than the other ones.
Exactly.
Right? Whereas,
which is why Rod on RND and Scramblers is a terrible secondary.
I mean, sometimes it has a use.
The most used terrible secondary.
Sometimes 8 points is better than what you'd be getting on the next one, to be fair. I'm not saying it's good, but it's the lesser of 2 evils. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it is sometimes guaranteed points. So, this is a very tense turn, Mikey.
It is. It's close. I mean,
a lot of movement going on. Although it looks like we might be in the shooting phase now. I'm sure we'll get confirmation from the table. We're in the shooting phase now, yeah.
It looks like we want to just try and get... Peter lost a lot that turn, you know. Mike was able to just like really capitalise even on the failing turn, but he's brought a whole other knight now. He thought, what is... 12 armigers,
have arrived.
I can have 13.
I know.
You know?
I know. But not even just in terms of his lost models. No. Because... it's not just dead armigers that reduce your output. Wounded armigers do too. As we can see, there's an armiger in the center of the board with 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
That thing is mega bracketed.
Exactly.
Do you have bits of chip damage going on there as well? By the way, that Swarmlord does look badass.
He does look cool.
Look at him.
General Grievous of the Tyranids. The 4 swords, you know.
He's taking those blades off the armigers.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Adam.
Through these.
Yeah.
A fine addition to my collection. You can see the Raveners in that corner there. This is the bottom right of the corner on Objective 5. We've got 2 War Dogs, the Melter Gun and Chain Glaives coming in. But yeah, he just wants to damage them. That's what he wants to do. So.
Yeah. I wonder what this list would look like if you were to drop Raveners and take some Genestealer Cult.
Oh, interesting. Genestealer Cult are kind of good in a lot of matchups, just because of the blips. They can really force your army back. Well, the enemy army back for turn 1.
Yeah.
They're really popular for a while with Hive Guard, and obviously being able to just stop things moving over them.
That screen was so good. So the way that works specifically is you put the blips down in your deployment zone. I mean, if your opponent went first, they wouldn't be able to come within 9 inches of the blips.
And they can't fly over either.
So you can't fly over it, yeah. So
a huge 18-inch bubble.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we can see, Mike hasn't taken any of the NID secondaries anyway.
No.
You don't need to. It's honestly fine. Like,
what do you lose? Not that great. So.
And instead, you get like these units of 40-point dudes that do the same thing as Raveners. Or you would do if it wasn't for the fact I just saw Raveners eat the Psychic Interrogation Knight.
Oh, good.
They are good.
Oh, good.
And they're only 150 points.
Yeah, they really cheat. They just get a bunch of attacks.
What would you take otherwise? So.
Let's have a look. So let's have a look at the profile.
Yeah. Let's get it up. So, while we're talking about Raveners, a unit of Raveners has just died.
Okay. Imagine if that was a 40-point G to the cult unit.
The 3 Raveners that were defending the Parasite of Mortex. Up in the top left. They have perished.
So now that objective is contested, all they need to do is just kill that Parasite, which isn't that hard to do.
No,
it's minus 1 to hit, you can't re-roll against it, which is nice in shooting. How do you spell Ravener?
R-A-V.
Yeah.
E.
Yeah.
N-E.
Oh. I put O-R.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
That would have been mad embarrassing. Just confidently pronouncing it. However I fancy. So
the Raveners get 5 attacks each, that's why they're so good.
Oh, mate. What's the strength AP on that?
Strength 5, AP 2.
Damage?
Just 1. Or you can go Rending Claws, strength 6, -4, 1 damage.
It's all wounding 5s.
Yeah, but it's the -4, they get no save. That's why.
Yeah, that's really good. While we're talking about the Parasite of Mortex being really easy to kill, the Parasite of Mortex was demonstrating this by being killed.
It's not there.
It is.
It's such a good unit. It's so good. 80 points.
It's very efficient.
Fly, advance and actions, upset, counts as 5. It's brutal.
It's a lot of rules on very cheap units.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the Pyrovores, like the Parasite.
For sure.
Like the even the Harpy, really. So this shooting phase is looking pretty nasty. So as you could see, the Tyranid Warriors that came out of the building
Warriors up here
to fully commit to the send it down the center.
Yeah, there was one there and one there, right?
They're still there. They're just not moving.
They're just dead. They're very dead.
They are very, very dead. Pyrovore is being left alone for now.
The Pyrovores are decent, but because we're on 5s, they're not that efficient into this
Yeah.
matchup. They're really good into everything else. And mirror matches as well.
Oh, this game is close, Mikey.
This is close.
Like,
it's the brotherly love, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the genetics are so similar.
Exactly. You just don't know who's winning. They're Duff. The Duff is winning.
Duff is winning, and Duff will be going into next round 2-0. So that is progress. But you feel a little bit like last turn it had to be a big turn for Mike.
Yeah.
And had he broken his back, and judging by the amount of damage that's coming back, I mean, he's only killed the Raveners in the top section, and the Parasite, and the Tyranid Warriors in the center. So it's not huge, but if you can take off those bits of shooting, that's actually really important, specifically in this context. Because if you're looking at knights that are walking around with 2 wounds, you want to be able to ping them off. You don't want to have to commit resources for them.
No,
and when I'm saying commit resources,
shooting.
I don't want to have to run over and charge it and punch it in the head.
Yeah.
Because I can only do that to one of you because you're so spread out.
Exactly,
right?
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to have to take my stupid Hive Tyrant and dunk this guy, right?
Spend command points to fly away again. So it's out of safe. But
okay.
So go on.
So it looks like, I believe there's going to be a charge going into these Pyrovores.
Is it from here?
I believe so.
That makes sense.
But also, a command point has been spent, Mikey.
For Overwatch?
For an Overwatch.
It makes sense. It's all auto-hitting, you know?
It is. They are flamers.
Looks like it's taken 2 wounds so far.
And he's made the charge.
Oh, he's made it. There we go. Interesting.
Deary me.
So now that Knight Obsec counts as 5. It looks like Mike's probably got around 5 or 6 on the objective.
Are they Obsec? No, he does have some Tyranid Warriors though.
The Tyranid Warriors are Obsec, yeah.
He does have a presence
count,
of Obsec.
I believe they count as 2, so he might still hold it. But if he takes out the Pyrovores, he's really going to be pushing that objective then.
It's about whether or not he has the ability to just shove these knights off. So realistically, if I am Mike, I'm looking at this situation. I need to kill top right Armager.
This one, dead.
That one.
Gone.
I need to kill center Armager on 2 wounds.
Bam, dead, gone.
I need to kill Armager down
dead,
here.
Gone.
And then, even then, you've still got a lot of ability to push the other Armagers up. What do you think? Do you think he has enough to be able to remove all these things?
Does he have enough to remove them? I think so. I think this one's going to be the hardest one. I think this one's going to be the hardest one. I think this one, Swarmlord, gone. This one gets shot or smited by the Hive Tyrant, and then the Hive Tyrant charges this one and kills it, and he's quite comfortable.
100%. We were looking at the early in the game. We were talking about Peter attacking Mike's Obsec and Mike's objectives, and attacking his primary score. Apparently, in the top, that's doing it as well. There's not enough Obsec, according to the table, on this objective for Mike, which means he's going to be going into his turn 4 with
0 primary
and getting no primary.
There it is.
Does make it a little bit easier for him to get his progressive.
Yep.
Because he needs to hold an objective he wasn't holding before.
But he's got to push. He's got to deal with that now.
He's got to do it. He needs a big turn.
It's got 10 wounds. This guy's got 10 wounds. Just to clarify, Tyranid Warrior, Obsec, counts as 2.
Yep.
That's 2, 3, 4. And this guy counts as 5. So that's how he's taking it there. So the Tyranid Warriors are there, but you can see just here, he's not on the objective. Otherwise, that would be Mike's objective there. It doesn't matter what happens over here, that would be Mike's objective. But because he's not got that on the objective, he's just denied it. So, what an interesting turn of events. Peter and Mike really pushing each other, really going for it. I do think Peter might have split up a bit too much, though. I do think he's kind of split his forces quite a lot. He's pushing, he's on all 5 objectives, which is great. Board domination's high, but it's not. It's only just tacking it. That's the problem. So we're just saying. I think Peter's split up a bit too much. That's what I was saying. But I'm sure you've got something to say.
We have had some fantastic memery in that combat with the Pyroballs. So Mike has a stratagem, or Peter has a stratagem that allows him to reroll 1s to hit in melee, or Mike does. He decided he was going to burn it, 1 CP, and then changed his mind and said, "No, I'm not going to do it."
Sure.
Then he rolled 3 1s to hit.
Of course he did.
Yeah, it's great.
Of course he did. But there you go. So
nice and cozy.
We love that. We love that. But yeah, we're just saying Peter has the board now. He has all 5 objectives.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
But he's only got 1 knight on each one.
I think my concern here is even if Mike finds a way to shove all these knights off his face.
Yeah.
Is he too far behind on points now?
Yeah,
So we were
he's
talking
really
a little bit
falling
about
behind.
the mortal wound output in the morale phase for these knights as well.
True.
And more damage has been done to Mike. 6 more mortal wounds have
Wow.
been applied at the back of that objective.
Wowza.
So he is running out of options.
Yeah,
to
of
try and
course, because
remove
the
these
dread ability reduces leadership, and he
Yeah.
can start pushing out more
We're
wounds as
getting
well.
close to that point where Mike is going to be outnumbered by the Chaos Knights.
Yeah. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe he's pushed out just enough.
Yeah.
Because if you
We'll
think
have to
about
see.
it, I keep thinking, oh, Mike's just going to kill them, but he's not Swarm Lord, he's not Hive Tyrant.
Yeah.
That's
And
about
this is
it.
what you mean about the damage check. You push them all forward, and can he deal with them?
Yeah.
He's
And that's
killed
it.
a couple with his melee threat.
And because they're so fast, you know, he's got 2 knights down here, as you can see.
Yep.
This guy can push out this way, and this guy can replace him.
Yeah.
He could run this one this way, run that one that way if he wants to. This one can push that way. Maybe Peter is just going to just body him so hard just because he's just got too many bottles, you know?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's
Such efficient shooting. I think bringing that one down, this one has made it. You know, I'm changing my tune, Tom. I'm changing my tune.
Are you changing your
Maybe
tune?
I am a Pete fan, you know? Maybe
Okay.
I'm Pete Duff, not Mike Duff.
Okay.
I'm a Pete stan. You know?
Okay.
I'll like all these tweets. I'll
You're
retweet
follow
them.
around the hall. Brilliant. Lovely. So, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking this might just be a bit too far back for
Yeah.
Mike to get it. Because
It's
Mike,
all in his deployment zone.
it's all in his deployment zone, but you're looking at the points. He's not going to get any primaries this turn.
No.
Meaning the only option he has now is to get him at the start of his turn 5, where he doesn't really have that much to push,
Exactly.
realistically. Now, he is up on secondaries.
He is.
Because he
He
can
is.
still kill Armigers. He is going to get bring it down points. He still has the option of Tivalas, because he's still got all of his Tivalas in this little L on the right-hand side.
Yep.
And Stranglehold's a hard one now.
Stranglehold
So-
is really hard now. And the other thing as well is that Mike hasn't added
Okay.
his to the last, but Peter hasn't added his no prisoners either.
Yeah. So Dread ability has updated for turn 4.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be -1 to hit in close combat.
Oh, no. That's bad.
Make
That's
it a
really
little
bad.
bit tricky for those big hitters to remove the knights, because the shooting isn't going to do too much. We already know this. But if you can save a couple of Armigers, we're talking about those 1 or 2 wounds that were remaining on those Armigers. You have to go and send someone out to go and get them, because your shooting is so diminished at this point, right?
Exactly.
So it's like that 1 wound beast boss on Squiggers, or maybe fighting on death as a character kind of 1 wound thing, because it makes your
Sure.
opponent do something else in a turn, and a turn is 20% of your game.
Exactly, it is,
That
yeah.
is 20% of your action is going towards killing this 1 wound knob, just in the middle of the board that you don't really want to have to deal with. Now, you could smite it down, but then it mitigates your plan in other ways, right? So, secondaries, I think, is slightly favourable to Mike here, because the secondaries are going to be very strong.
He's going to get a couple more and bring it down. 14, maybe.
I think he can max bring it down.
Yeah.
I think he can.
He's going to kill 3
So,
more. There's
if you get
lots that are
15,
wounded.
15,
Yeah.
and then 9.
Yep.
That would put him in 39 points on the secondary.
Yeah, we just had that final score from Peter from last turn as well.
Yeah, now the second
Ruthless Tyranny going straight up. Look at that,
Oh, he'll
10
max that.
points.
He'll max that.
Brutal. Brutal.
No prisoners, I'm not entirely sure.
No
And
prisoners, I think he could probably get a good 10 or 12 points at least,
Yeah.
if not more. Does the Spore Mines count? Oh, no, they don't. No, the Spore Mines don't count. They don't count for any missions. Ignore me.
10, just speculative.
Yeah.
A speculative 10. That would put him on
Let's have a look.
15, 25, 28. So it'd be 10 points back on secondaries.
Sure.
Do I think that Peter, going second, will have more than 10 points more than Mike in primaries?
I think so. He's quite
I
comfortable now.
Would probably agree.
He's quite comfortable now.
Which means Mike is going to win so that I can be wrong on stream. Yeah. That's exactly how it works.
Exactly.
Now, the Ravenous in the bottom right might be going for it.
They could send it.
He is sending it.
They're
They've been
gonna
given
send
reroll
it.
ones to hit by
Wow.
a swarmy boy. So I
We
hope
roll
that he
all
sends
hits
it.
with Swarmy Boy. The
Now,
High
to
Tyrant
be
gets
honest,
reroll
mate,
once.
the way that this could work, take your Flying Hive Tyrant, you send it here, or something. Not quite there, but more like here. You smite this guy.
Yeah, 2 wounds. On average, you kill it.
Yeah. Charge here.
Murder it.
Remove that dude in the center. Push. Oh no, he's not. Well, he's not.
No,
doing
he's not
that,
doing
so
that.
it's irrelevant. Push the Raven who's down this bottom side to kill this one on the far end, and then push Swarm Lord down here.
Yeah.
Right. That way, 4 dead knights.
That would be good.
You have
That'd
to.
be really
You have
good.
to take a risk. It's the Hail Mary.
He does, because
Right?
he's slowly losing points now. So
Yeah. It's your last option. Now, he's actually not far off doing that, but he did the Hive Tyrant and the Swarm Lord the other way around, so now he
Yeah,
doesn't have a
they'll be the
smite
other way
on.
around.
He doesn't have a smite on the central fella. Yeah, does he?
Yeah, it looks
Maybe
like he's got some Tyranid warriors who weren't in combat, which might have for you a couple of piddly guns that they could shoot over and shoot the knight, which would be nice.
Although that does beg the question of how you're going to remove this top right knight. I guess he just doesn't.
I mean, yeah.
he will not do that.
He's taken the objective back now, though, because he's got 3
Tyrant center, because it means that you can then pull towards top right afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
But
he's got the Tyrant Guard. They could come out and do something this turn. You know?
Can they? Have you seen the melee profile of a Tyrant?
The Tyrant Guard?
Nah, good.
They're all right.
Nah.
They're fine.
Rubbish.
They're fine.
Rubbish.
You know? He's got 3 warriors on this objective now. Each one of them counting as 2, so he can take that objective back just by existing. He's got the zone throats coming out.
Are you drawing on his head?
Yes, the zone throats coming out. So they can do some smite as well. They're going to be able to reduce it down. So he's not out of it yet. He's going to really push back.
No, there's still options. You can still take a risk. I just think it's a little bit of an uphill struggle for him. Yeah, and according to the table bosses,
it's not exactly easy at this point. It's all risk. All risk just for the high reward, you know? Psychic time.
All right, I'm now taking bets with the table bosses.
Oh, really?
The table bosses think 5 knights are going to die this turn.
Ooh.
I think 4 knights are going to die this turn.
What does chat think?
I think something somewhere will go wrong.
What does
He's
chat
aiming
think?
for 5. But
how
I don't know if he can manage
many
it. Yeah, I know which way.
Knights dead.
No. Dead away.
4. 5.
Why is 1 numbers and 1? I don't care. Just keep doing it.
It's to annoy you. That's why. Now vote in chat now. Let us know what you think. How many knights are going to die this turn? How many? 4 or 5? 4 or 5? I think 4. I'd vote 4.
So it's basically Comdesk versus table boss.
Comdesk, who know everything about the game, or Neil.
Do you know anything about the game, Mike?
No.
No,
I just pretend.
I just see cool models.
But if you want to watch...
I'm a model railway guy, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Francis. You can say Francis. But whilst you're voting, what is also really close to that vote button is if you want to support the channel, you can become a member today or super chat and enter to win £50 of hobby voucher for any store you want, anywhere in the UK, anywhere around the world, wherever you like, £50 or equivalent currency by supporting the channel, becoming a member, or... super chatting. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys.
We're kind of at that point in the round, Mikey, where I'm looking around the tables around us, and games are finishing.
We've got less than an hour left, you know?
Yeah.
We do still have another game of Warhammer after this.
We do.
It's not over yet.
That should be good.
Not over yet.
Hopefully we get something cool on the stream. That should be fun. I could see a Nid versus Nid matchup over there. I could see and I don't know what that was because the Nids won pretty quickly over there. I could see Manny's got a wave serpent in his opponent's deployment zone and smiling while he shakes someone's hand.
Yeah, he's travelled all the way from New Zealand.
Has he?
Get battered by Manny in round 2.
I mean, at least didn't travel all the way from Liverpool to play his brother.
Well, this is very true.
Yeah.
This is
Speaking of people who travelled all the way from Liverpool to play.
Here they are.
They are on the stream. And the send it has happened.
The sending has happened.
I don't think there's any more sending to be done.
We've not lost any more knights yet.
After this hit.
There is damage, though. There's a lot of damage around, as you can see. That knight is taking damage. We're trying to take the objective there. We've got these knights. We've got 1 on 9 wounds, 1 on 10.
There's a lot of chip damage.
Yeah, I think the Raveners are going to go for this one.
The paintwork needs a bit of updating after this game.
It sure does. I think
not on these armies. They look lovely, but you understand.
The armies are lovely. The Raveners are going to go for this one with their -4 AP, and then the Hive Tyrant's going to go for this one. We've killed 1. We've killed 1 so far. We've killed 1 so far. Is that what we're saying? We've lost a knight on the middle of the objective. We've lost 1 knight just here.
Okay, so as we can pan back to the big angle, you see there's an armiger-shaped hole in the middle of a ball.
There is. So if you voted 1, even though there's only 2 options, you're correct.
Well then, all 1 voters. You prescient people. So that was actually killed by shooting from the Tyranid warriors.
That's what we said. Corner. That's what I said.
I mean, it was.
You can see because he has a big green cannon, and that is a gun.
You could have committed those guns to the... Are you drawing around the guns again?
I like drawing around the guns.
You could have committed those guns to this fellow in the top right who took Pyro Overwatch wounds.
Yeah, this is true. But they're not bad in combat either, the Tyranid warriors.
It's true.
And he's got loads of smite. He's got the Neurothrope. He's got the Zone Thropes. He's chilling.
Yeah. He's having a lovely time. We have very much got a kind of line of scrimmage that's forming, especially if you kill this knight in the top right as well. Yeah. Very much a blue versus black.
Oh, yeah. It's nice to see that Mike actually took his stuff out of the deployment zone, which is the main thing.
Okay, that was the end of the shooting phase, Mikey.
Right, okay.
The important stuff was done.
Okay, so do you think he's going to
And
kill
we're
3
gonna do the
knights in
charges.
combat?
So the Raveners are going into the knight on the bottom right-hand side.
I'm going
They
to
are
say
in.
I'm going to say he can kill 3 knights in combat. Look, Raveners are going to kill this one.
I have to say that Hive Tyrant is being really inconsiderate of blocking our view.
Yeah.
How dare he?
The Hive Tyrant move in a charge to this one. Okay. Right. And then Swarmy kills this one. That'll be 4 knights.
And that means you think the one in the top right lives.
I think the one in the top right does live,
I agree.
but he's also taking the
Based on-
objective, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true. I agree, but I base that on no information whatsoever. Although that is free Tyranid warriors. And their obsec
I think they count
models.
2, so they
So
sound
if none
6.
of them die...
Yeah. If he doesn't interact with that knight, he just has the objective.
Yes.
So if he goes into it, he could try and kill it. That'd be cool, but it's not
just
worth
having the
committing.
objective doesn't really do much for him right now.
No.
Specifically because...
Swarmlord's in with a 10-inch charge.
Okay, no, it does, actually. I lied. I'm wrong. I was about to say, just as it is, he's going to hold enough objectives anyway to get all the primary that he needs. But that's not actually true, because that is the hold more point.
Yeah.
So, you know, just
like we're spending some-
standing on it will deny the hold more.
Exactly. Yeah.
But also killing that provides you with a little bit more space to then push on for turn 5. And also, if you can kill this Armiger here, that would mean that he's probably able to hold this objective himself going into his turn 5 and pick up those
getting that
valuable
extra
primary
primary,
points.
yeah.
Because he is falling behind on primaries.
Again, to the last hasn't been scored, but he's had to commit some of it to the last, the Swarmlord and the Hive Tyrant, to go and try and deal with some of these knights which are pressuring the entire board. So, again, Peter a minute ago had all 5 objectives, so it's going to be interesting to see if Mike can take 3 of them back this turn. Which would be a really good swing. A really good swing.
Although just holding that stranglehold as well.
Yeah.
It's...
He's got to commit. He's got to kill him now, so...
Yeah. This is one of those situations where it really is valuable to be inside the game. Like, we can look at from outside the game and say, oh, look at the pressure patterns and the waves. But being inside the game, you know how many points you're likely to get and how many points your opponent's likely to get.
Yeah, we can analyse that where their guys are just they're just playing.
Exactly, exactly.
Mike probably doesn't realise if he gets 89, he already wins. He probably doesn't even know that.
100%. Now, the Swarm...
Well, there we go. We see the charge. We've charged here as well. We've got the Warriors in there. So, there we go.
Neil is getting very excited over there about the potential of 5 dead knights.
One thing's quite interesting down here is I believe this Hive Tyrant has charged both knights. And is in combat with both of them.
Yeah.
So if the Raveners fail to kill this knight, the Hive Tyrant could consolidate there and kill that one.
He could split your attacks.
Or he could split his attacks. Or if the Raveners manage to kill this one, he can focus on this one. This one down here.
Okay, so 2 things before we get into the fight phase. Firstly, the Swarmlord charged in. The Knight overwatched and hit him with a melter.
Excellent.
And did 1 wound.
Excellent. Even better. I love that.
I believe. Secondly, don't forget the Dread.
The Dread range.
The Dread mechanic is -1 to hit in melee.
Ooh, yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
That's really big.
It's not a sure thing that most of these die. It's a little bit swingy.
Yeah, there we go. There's all them frees gone.
So the Carnivore on the top right, that's the top right knight, has also spent a command point to make himself -1 damage.
Oh.
So I think we're on for a 4 here.
Yeah, because the Tyranid Warriors are damaged too, right?
He's not having it. He's not having it, is he? That's a shame. But that's a good number of wounds, and I like the colour of these dice. They look nice.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is the Tyranid Warriors fighting into the Carnivore.
Yep. The save throws just coming in. That was a good roll.
That was decent.
The Carnivore is alive on 2 wounds. Oof. So 5 voters get in the bin.
Get in the bin, 5
all
voters.
56% of you.
56% corks. Why didn't you vote for? You stupid. Why did you do that?
This is why we're on the desk.
Yes, exactly. So I can call
why
my
we're on the
desk.
Okay. Even Mikey, sleep deprived.
Exactly.
Got that completely right.
I said 4.
You did?
I think he's going to do 4. Easy. Easy clap.
Did a good job there, yeah.
Now, he's trying to think whether he's going to interrupt, I believe.
No, that is still useful. Because that is going to bracket the Carnivore down quite heavily.
Yeah.
And make it very difficult for him to remove the Tyranid Warriors. But all he needs to do is remove 1. And that'll get him the hold more. And also deny the Stranglehold from Mike. And at that point, that is a 7-point swing.
Yeah.
That,
for sure.
That could kill him.
That could be the game. So it's whether Pete interrupts here. Obviously, the Swarmlord one.
Also, I'm looking at this, mate, and I can't help but look at engage at all fronts here.
Yeah. Yeah. Engaging all fronts on an army ground is just
striking knight, mate.
Auto take every time engaging all fronts.
Oh, it's very good. It's very, very good.
Even with an objective in the middle, you've just got so much redundancy. Just take engaging all fronts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whether he's going to interrupt or not, is he going to do it? The Swarm Lord's really comfortable in the middle. He does not care. He's crap in combat.
Not getting that.
He can turn. He has a 4+ run in combat now. He doesn't get the 3 up, but once per phase, he can turn a damage into 0 when he fails a save.
Yeah, he can.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Super survivable there. Literally doesn't matter.
I don't think he'll interrupt. I mean, I feel like the Overwatch was more speculative because you've got a melter on yourself.
For sure.
If you can get that specular on. Although...
It's whether he interrupts over here.
That said, we've got the Flying Hive Tyrant going now. And we've rolled... spent 2 CP for extra D3 attacks on him. And we've rolled 3 attacks.
Excellent.
So, not a bad strike at all. I wonder if the Raveners have hit him, the bottom right-hand corner already, just to see if they've actually taken a good amount of damage.
Oh, no, he just rolled a bunch of ones. Thankfully, re-rolls them.
That's pretty grisly.
Only 2 hits. This Hive Tyrant has killed a knight every turn.
At least he got extra attacks.
I mean, yeah, great. It really paid off. It really, really paid off.
Oh dear. And...
Did that just blow up?
Mike just made a Bruno Fernandez.
A Bruno Fernando.
Yeah,
But that knight has just exploded. D6.
Of course.
So 3 more wounds on the Hive Tyrant.
I feel like we need to have a word about this table, Mikey. Everything is blowing up.
It's terrible. It's a great table.
Yeah. Even Discord.
Everything blows up. Yeah, Discord blew up. The camera blew up. That's 1 knight down. Only 2 more to go to get the votes.
Now, luckily,
I like how more people have voted 5, even though we know it can't happen. More people have voted for 5.
Just like to,
both knights gone. Boom.
Okay, so that guy turned around, then beat up the other War Dog, but did not explode.
Exactly.
Did take a mortal wound for his troubles, but he has just flown in with his wings outstretched.
Yep.
And just sliced him up.
That Hive Tyrant's killed 5 knights.
He's the MVP, and he's worth 5 points.
He is.
To the left.
What a boy. But he scored 10 on Bring It Down.
Yeah.
Even if he loses him, he's still 5 points ahead.
The biggest boy of them all,
the Swarm Boy,
is about to fight. So he's just rolled a bunch of attacks, which can only mean one thing. He's got a bunch of arms.
Yeah, that's a bunch of arms.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of arms.
He loves it.
That's a lot more hits than the Flying Hive Tyrant that killed 2 fellas. Lots of mortal wounds coming through. That is pretty fat.
Yeah, that's 3 mortal wounds in addition. He blows up as well. Of course he blows up as well. Of course he blows up as well.
Fair, Mikey, when you take 27 damage,
I mean, you are like...
to explode.
Maybe that should be rule. If you take twice as many wounds as you have, you automatically explode.
I feel... Do you remember the old Melter rules in 5th?
Yes, I do.
Where it was more likely to explode based on the AP.
That's in Heresy now, you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
I should play that game.
It's a great game.
I was looking at World Eaters, but I wasn't a massive... Sculpts weren't for me on a couple of...
No, but with all these new plastics...
So I'm going to do 1,000 tons now, mate.
That's cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be good. What, this game? So, okay, this game...
Yes.
Do you want to guess how many knights have blown up, Mikey?
7. That was a guess.
Have 7 knights even died?
I don't know. How many knights have died this turn?
Let's see. Shall we see him? We've done a poll already. I can't bother.
We did the poll.
4 knights have blown up, Mikey.
4 knights have blown up, but 4 died this turn.
43% of people got that right.
43% of you in chat are Giga Chads, and the rest of you are scum.
Now, the last bit we've got. True. Now give us money so we stop thinking that you're
Please support the channel with super chats and memberships. I'll give you 50 quid.
And you can come out of purgatory.
You can, yeah.
Fine.
I'll allow it.
Last bit of melee going on for Mikey in his turn 4. The Carnivore with 2 wounds is going to swing back at the Tyranid Warriors. Now this was a big deal.
It sure was.
Killing one of his Tyranid Warriors.
He's done.
Will take away. He's done.
No, he'll be done.
There's a good chance probably will be
Tom,
done.
it's okay,
Yeah.
it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
He'll be done because he'll lose the objective.
Yes. And that's 7-point swing because it's 4 points of primary.
I think he just missed.
That's none of those are.
He rolled all 1s and 2s.
Did he roll anything above a 3?
No. He rolled a single 3, all 1s and 2s, and a single 3. But that was it.
Mike's
the 5th
still
knight
going.
Doesn't kill anything.
Still trucks on for another turn.
He does. This has been a game and a half. Obviously, Mike is an exceptional player. He's been playing Tyranids for a long time. He really knows his shit. Played Crusher for a while as well. And clearly, Peter has been training. They've been in the hyperbolic time chamber like Dragon Ball Z, training with each other, having a great time, smashing it. These are two excellent players, you know. Even when you think one player is down, they go, here's my turn. Right, we've got it. I said to you Mike was going to take it, and then I said, actually, no, Peter's on every objective with like 2 knights. And now we're looking at Mike, and he's got all 3 objectives he needs, you know. There's still 1 knight remaining, but he's got 3 objectives. He's got a high tyrant ready to go and pressure on objective 4 if he wants to. Or he's got the swarm lord in the middle being an absolute chad. This is a game and a half.
Do you know how Mike wins this game now?
How does he win this game now?
I think he sends it.
He does send it.
Although he has just hidden his hive tyrant
He has
again,
just been a little pussy.
I disrespect.
A little pussy.
That behaviour.
A hive trussy. You know what I'm saying?
The hive trussy. You've been watching too many of certain streamers, mate. So, what you really need to make sure is that you can knock Mike at least off his objective. So he's got the stranglehold now, or at least he will do when they update the scores, I would assume.
Yep. Oh, let's have a look. I think he should. I don't think they've added stranglehold.
No, he probably should have the stranglehold. But
shall we get the table bosses to add stranglehold? Do you want to just double check they've added stranglehold for this turn?
No. That's probably worth checking. Yeah, well, have that on there. And then it's just a case of, well, you've lost those 3 points now. Those points are done.
Yeah.
But you can still deny Mike 4 points again. Which, something Peter's been very diligent on doing all game. In turn 2, he shoved off objective 5. In turn 3, he shoved off objective 2.
Oh, did they not?
Okay.
We're wrong.
Okay, I thought they counted as 2, but apparently not.
That's okay.
Never
So
mind.
my apologies, chat. This carnivore, which is behind Peter, my apologies. These only counts 1. They don't count as 2. This guy counts as 5.
So it is 7-point swing.
It is a 7-point swing. That's bad. That's bad.
That is pretty bad.
So
that's also going to mean you're going to get the 12 points as well on your primary for Peter.
Yeah, so Peter's going to jump up to 48 points. No prisoners not been added yet.
No, indeed it hasn't. Indeed it hasn't.
Now, Peter is in a strong position. He could fall out of combat and continue to hold that objective with that knight in the top right, which would be a strong play. He could hide his knights because he's given up Bring It Down, or he could just go, fuck it, kill this guy. Mike, you're not having 5 points to mine now.
Well, also it means that you're not threatening his backside, which is important, because what you want to be doing if your Mike is just going Aggie because you've got turn 1.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to stop Peter from really being able to push late on and get those objectives to max out his primary.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is why I was a little bit concerned. Yeah, it's why I was a little bit concerned about this Hive Tyrant, or Winged Hive Tyrant, moving back over with Overrun. Yeah. Back behind the wall. Because firstly, I don't think you need to be too scared. You've got a 2-wound knight in the top right-hand corner. It has to fall out to do anything to you, so it's not touching you.
It's not doing anything.
You've then got 3 remaining Armigers here.
I mean, it's very good in combat. It could just stay there and just...
It can, but it's no threat to your Winged Hive Tyrant.
No.
Right? You've then got the 3 remaining. Are they going to kill your Winged Hive Tyrant?
I don't think so.
Probably not. So that means that you're able to shove forward and then threaten all of this backside stuff here.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it didn't just stay here.
Yeah.
Take it on the chin. CP a couple of essays if you need it.
Depends how greedy you want to be, because you could even go like straight forward.
Yeah.
And then say, right, you're going to have to deal with both the Flying Hive Tyrant and the Swarm Lord. Now that might be a little bit risky because that Flying Hive Tyrant is not full health.
No,
it's taken a lot of wound from a lot of explosions. Yeah. I think it's on 7.
All 4 explosions.
All 4 explosions have happened around that Flying Hive Tyrant. So. Oh no, you're not having this. Right. So.
Where's that knight gone?
The
carnivore? We're going to get an update. What happened to the carnival?
Okay. So, here is a quick technicality, Mikey. You may have noticed that the carnivore in the top right has disappeared. What's happened there is, Peter has used a stratagem to put him back into ongoing reserves.
Oh, no.
And Neil is now trying for his favour, not his stratagem, my mistake.
Of course.
And Neil is now trying to claim that 5 knights have been removed from the board.
No. 4 have been killed. One has disappeared.
We'll add that.
He's checking the rulebook.
He's checking the rulebook.
I'm going to have to ban him. I'm going to have to ban him from
I'm
chat.
actually reading the rulebook. Disgusting
But
behavior.
the favour is called the Wartborn Stalker.
Oh my.
So, the Wartborn Stalker, I've just destroyed the Gene Treeler. It doesn't matter, but basically, because he's favoured, you can remove the knight later on. So basically, what it does, it allows you to put a knight into deep strike, right? But then
he hasn't done it in the end.
he hasn't done it.
changed his
But
mind.
once you've filled your favour, then you can remove it later. That's basically what he's trying
And
to
I
do.
think this is the right play, because by keeping it on the board, you're going to be able to fall out, and then you'll hold that objective.
Exactly.
It's going to deny Mike those 4 primary points.
Exactly.
So that means
he just sits on the objective. He's just like, yeah, Mike, you've lost your primary now. I've done my job. You can't score primary after this turn, so I just need to stop you getting at this one.
Realistically, if I'm looking at Peter's turn, I'm looking at, okay, he's going to get objective 5. So he's going to get 4 points there. He's probably going to get the objective in the middle there, which I'm assuming is objective 3. I think it's objective 3. That'll be 8 points.
He could send a knight, but then he's only got 3 and a bit left, you know?
Yeah.
If he sent a knight, he'd deny Mike's second primary here. If he sent this one, Mike can't get this for a primary anymore. So he'd only get 4 points for this one.
So,
but that would give him a knight to play with.
Okay, I'm just going to work this out in my head as I write it.
Okay.
Let's say this one belongs to Peter, so I'm going to put a big P on that, okay? this one belongs to Mike, right? Okay? If I'm Peter, I'm looking at this in a certain way, because this is my turn 4.
Go.
I don't score any primary points
at the start
of my turn 5. So what is the point of me staying on objectives? The point is to stop Mike from getting hold more.
Exactly.
That is the only point.
But he just needs to hold.
I need to hold as many as Mike.
Yeah.
So what I could do, I hold this one here, the top right. Mike holds this one. Out. Let's have a look at the other 3. Well, if I just take a knight
and walk it
over here.
Yep.
That means. How do you clear this, by the way, Mikey?
I got you.
Cheers, buddy. That means I'm holding back myself, and I'm holding more already.
Exactly. So no primary for Mike at all.
I can't take top right off because that'll give him 2.
Yep.
Unless I was potentially willing to hold off, pull off the top left. But even then, he's holding 2 objectives.
For sure.
So if I wanted to fully deny him primary as best I could, just take the guy on the top right off of the objective. You send one guy into the central objective.
Yep.
And then you take the remaining 2, and you pull them as far away from the objective as physically possible.
Yeah, just so they're out
to
of
make
dodge.
sure they're safe, because there's no shooting threat to you. Only melee threat is this dude with the swarm lord in the center.
Yeah,
and his little legs.
He moves 8.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's all right, but it's 8. Can he advance and charge?
No, I don't think so.
The 20-inch threat around all the buildings.
Yep.
And then
that ain't very long.
It's not.
A lot.
It's not. And then jump back on your turn.
Bing bang boom.
You take your 8 primary, and that's it.
I think
because as it stands, Mikey, look how many points you need to max your primary. He's on 37.
He only needs 8. He only needs to hold 2. Exactly.
You max out the primary. And then at that point, all you need to do is you need to stop Mike from getting 35 points on his primary.
Yeah. Well, I think Peter, being in the tank, he's thinking, I think he just wants to shoot this guy. Shoot him off the table. That's the plan. He just wants to shoot him. If he kills him, that's
he's
great.
in a great spot.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Lots of melter there, lots of Daka, 4+ invuln. You know, it's not exactly impossible.
I'm still not calling it.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. But I would, if I were have to make a guess right now, I'd probably assume Peter's going to win it by single-digit points.
Yeah. Again, no prisoners hasn't been added.
That primary gap is huge.
Yeah. Mike has got...
Now, also, to the last hasn't been added.
It hasn't. So Mike could be gaining another 15 points. So let's say he's on 78.
I think
minimum.
He'll be getting at least 10.
68
He's
minimum.
very diligent with this flying hive tyrant.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But then it's a case of that last turn. Like normally you don't see swings like this.
No, this is huge.
Turn 2
again. Hyperbolic time chamber, brother on brother. It's never ending. We never know what's going to happen.
I know. Make this a fantastic game.
Exactly. If you're tabbed out right now, tab the fuck back in and watch this. We don't even know what's going to happen.
Okay.
He's doing it.
Okay. So, the War Dogs are going for a full commit on this Swarmlord, okay? I'm assuming you can see him poking over the top of the crates. We've used a stratagem, so all War Dogs, 6s to hit, explode.
Wow.
If you can remove this, I think it's pretty much game.
Right? So look, the Swarmlord is sticking out just to the left of these
He's got
crates.
a nice base as well, by the way.
They are
Look
super
at that
nice. Both armies are great. Table looks great. It's amazing. So here we go. Here we go. We're shooting in. If the Swarmlord dies, this is going to be a humongous swing. It's a humongous swing. Humongous.
Humongous what?
Humongous.
We're such boomers.
Right?
That's
2 wounds. He's made both in ones. That's not good.
No, I mean, he can't use any stratagems to control that, unfortunately.
No. It's just pure dice roll. It's dice on dice.
Yeah, and it's about taking the best percentage chance you can to win the game.
Exactly.
Right? Sometimes that's a 90%. Sometimes
that's
20%.
Is he down to 5? Is he down to 5? He's down to 5.
Ooh.
5 wounds remaining.
5 wounds indeed. We've got confirmation
We've only
on the
had
table.
like 2 knights shoot. We might have a whole other one to shoot yet. He's doing it.
Oh, another one comes through. That's some more damage. Now it's down to down to 2
2 wounds. Oh my god.
How many more War Dogs have we got to fire table?
Go on, tell me there's something else to shoot. The Daka. Let the Daka shoot. Oh my god. Thank you, the
Last
standard
one.
operator, for becoming a member.
It's only stubbers. It's for stubbers.
Oh
it's
my
the
god.
heavy stubbers,
The
Mikey.
stubborn meta.
The best weapon in the
stubborn
game.
meta. We love the stubborn meta.
Here we go.
It's wounded. It's no. The stubborn meta is next turn.
Has he not killed it?
He's not killed it.
I can't really tell because it's the Nid player that's making the kind of it's not happened gestures, as if he's died.
Exactly.
But
standard operator, thank you so much for coming to member.
He's definitely not died, like.
The standard operator, thank you so much for coming to member. You're entered into our giveaway for 50 quid.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you tune in and Super Chat will become a member to support the channel and we'll give you £50 and say thank you. So thank you so much, bud. Make sure you join the Discord as well if you haven't already. And we are about to go into the final turn. Dawn of the final turn.
The end of the Chaos Knight's turn.
Wow.
The Swarmlord's left on 2 wounds. Now, I believe that brackets his movement as well.
Brackets everything.
Yeah.
Down, that's it.
So he's slower.
Very slow.
Very good. Makes it easier to hide from him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, he's also picked up 3 points on Ruthless Tyranny. Not bad going at all. I don't know, though. I feel like if I'd be kind of tempted now at this point to look for the Raveners. Because they are no prisoners points.
They are no prisoners.
So if I'm Mike, I think it's a very, very simple turn. We're getting very much down to the business end now.
They're not that fast, though. They're fast.
They're not that fast.
Very fast,
now,
but not that fast.
Mike is going to pick up his 8 points on the primary. Good. So, we're actually adding up the points now for these
there's
endgame
no
ones,
prisoners.
just so it's clear for the players, because they want to work out exactly what they each need.
Yeah.
Now, as it stands, 9 points on no prisoners for Peter.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is got a decent number there.
That's a good score.
But equally, if he gets over that 100 wounds mark,
that's it. 12 points.
yeah.
12 points.
And this is number 9. It looks pretty close.
Must be
That
close.
implies he's got done at over 80 wounds.
Yeah,
Now, if
exactly.
you can remove Tyranid Warriors in the top,
Pyro
Ravens
Ball,
in the bottom.
we're free.
Fireball, yeah.
You know?
I mean, it might be a bit of a push at this point because he doesn't have.
It's whether
It's been a bloody game, Mikey.
It's been
and an
a
oily
game and a half, you know?
There's a lot of
an oily
fluids.
game, lot of ocean, lot of salt in the game because of the beach bases, you know? Mike's obviously still got 15 to add to the last, which will put him on 76
It will.
right now.
Is
That is
that
the
enough?
maximum.
Because he can't get any more primaries.
The maximum we get is 79
Stranglehold.
because of Stranglehold. Okay? Peter,
That
the
means
max
he needs
he
80
can
points
get,
to take it.
he needs to get the primary. If he gets the max primary, 8 points.
If he gets 8 primary.
he's won.
Yeah.
It's whether now Mike is thinking whether he commits that Hive Tyrant. The
It's
Swarm
all
Lord,
going to be, can he hold 2 objectives?
yeah, the Swarm Lord looking
And
like
this is why I really wanted that Winged Hive Tyrant to go forward.
yeah,
Because no matter which way
he's
the
too
Swarm
far
Lord
away now.
goes,
yeah,
there's 2 objectives to play with. The
Yeah.
best he can do right at this point is kill the knight on top right, take the Swarm Lord, throw him into the guy in the bottom left, kill that,
I don't think
and
he
then
can kill
throw
it, though.
as much crap onto that central objective as he physically
hold
can.
it. Yeah,
he
but
needs to hold it.
he basically needs to take this objective, this one or this one. If he could take that and
Yeah.
hold it,
Yep.
Mike wins. If he doesn't, Peter is going to take it because he's just going to get 4. And again, if Mike gets 79 points, Peter just has to hold 2 objectives to win.
Yeah.
That's it, one game.
I think the player has to be, you take the Swarmlord,
Course.
you lob it into the bottom left, and then you position him just up behind this ruin here. And the specific reason why you do that is that there's no way those Armigers can get onto that objective without charging the Swarmlord.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
you can't shoot him, then you're betting the entire game on his melee invulnerable saves.
Yeah, Mikey's scared. You can
After
say.
you flip the center.
Yeah, Mike is thinking,
So,
we're in it, we're in it. Here we go.
word.
He's throwing the
Mike
high
is going to send it.
Send it!
He's wanting to table the knights.
Go.
Now, I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to try and do this.
I think this is all or nothing now, because again, he knows if he doesn't, he loses. He's already lost.
Oh, yeah. He needs
He's
to,
already
he
lost
needs
unless
to
he
limit Peter to taking one
If
objective.
he takes objective 1 on the left, objective 4 on the left, he wins.
If he controls 3 objectives, if he kills 3 knights, he's won.
If he kills 3 knights, he's won. If he kills this knight, and he can't get this knight over here, probably already won as well.
Well, no, because this guy can just go center.
Oh, yeah. He can just go to the center.
Yeah.
I'm Dumbo.
So,
so he needs to kill this one and one of these. He needs to kill 2 knights.
okay.
Can he do it?
So,
It's just... Oh.
he's got more points because he's made his Tyranid warriors double obsec, so he's made him hold more. So apparently there's a stratagem that allows him to make... You can make Tyranids worth 2.
Oh.
That was why we got confused, Mikey.
So he used a stratagem this turn to
Make
make
him worth
him
hold
worth
2. So now he's holding
just
1,
scored
2, 3 objectives.
65.
So he's got even more points.
And now he's going to get...
Wait, how's that gone all the way over there?
How far does it move? Double move.
Not that far.
It must be...
All right, then. He's moving 25 inches.
The advance.
Oh. So he's got a 17-inch move base, and then he spent 1 CP to auto-advance 6, so he's on 23 inches across the board.
Oh my god.
I think he's done it.
I think he's not. He's just got to kill those knights. He's just got to kill those knights now. Does it have onslaught? He does have onslaught as a power.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure
he does have onslaught.
For advance and charge.
Yes. No, there's a psychic power that needs to go off. Very classy. Very put on the...
Here it is. It's
Look
all or
at that.
nothing.
This is tense.
Thank you, gamers. Really appreciate it. Carl Smith says cracking his strat 8-inch advance. And the Swarmlord ability for double obsec. Yeah, I think the Swarmlord's too far away, though. Is it not? Or is it quite a long range? Let's have a look. Hive Tyrant.
The Hive Tyrant doesn't appear to have it, but the Neurothrope does.
Neurothrope. Yeah, it does have. It does. That's right. That's right.
Means as long as you can get that off. Also, the Swarmlord has it too. And it's 18-inch range.
Well, there you go then. That's where it is.
So he's measuring that out just to see.
Oh,
We're at that point in the game where I don't feel like we can really say anything. We just kind of let it happen. Let it ride. Enjoy the moment.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Just send it.
Yes.
He's leaving that objective, probably hoping to kill.
Yeah.
Kill everything in combat.
And he's filling that central objective because it's entirely about, not about what you hold now.
Yeah.
The same as last turn for Peter. It's about what you stop your opponent from holding.
Yeah.
And this is entirely about, I've got the points.
Yeah.
I'm going to flood all the stuff
it's going
that
for
you
kill.
want.
It's got that one gun at the front.
I'm
it's
just
going
going
to
to
go
get
kill it.
in your way.
Yeah. Tyrant Guard coming out now.
Although...
Sorry, there's a Neurothrope. That's a Neurothrope coming out.
If the Swarmlord's having a hide. If the Swarmlord goes down, that's bad. Yeah. That's expensive. He's only on 2 wounds.
A 5-point swing.
So it's very much a case if he hasn't gone for that bottom left just because he wants to keep that guy's safeguard.
Yep.
He's only got 2 wounds. He's worth 5 points.
Oh, man. This is
That's 2.5 points per wound, Mike.
That is. That's a lot. That's a lot. Right, the Raven's hiding, securing that objective in the corner.
Look at that.
I'm not sure why he's left
Ravenous behind there.
Why is he left objective 2, though? Is he just planning to
shoot?
shoot?
Need it. He's going to kill the guy who's shooting anyway.
Is he going to planning to shoot this way and then charge backwards? Maybe? We're going to have to see. Psychic time.
Yeah.
What's he going to go with? This is tense. This is tense. There's a Ravenous in the corner.
Onslaught of getting cast on 3d6. Onslaught has gone off.
Yep. That's advance and charge. That's advance and charge, everyone.
So onslaught, yeah, is advance and charge.
Onto the Hive Tyrant.
So that first hurdle is cleared.
Close. It's very close. I'm stressed.
Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant is coming off now. Now that's a bonus power because that's 5+ feel no pain.
Yeah, that's good.
Which it doesn't matter if you have feel no pain if all the knights are dead. Okay?
This is very true.
Entirely about trying to keep him alive as much as possible.
There's one knight down.
There you go.
Smite took him down. It does mean he's not holding that objective anymore, though. But
it does,
you know,
although it means he ran away from the explosion.
True. Very true. Can we get a wound? Can we get a wound check?
Psychic Scream.
Ooh,
coming out.
A mini smite.
Into the two knights together. Mini smite indeed.
Okay, can we get a wound check on what those knights? We have 5 on this one. And then how many on the other one next to it?
6 on the one next to it.
Okay, and then the one at the bottom full 12.
Which?
The bottom left. This side.
That one's full. Okay.
That one's full.
That one's full, apparently.
Okay, which one's on?
I would assume the bottom left is on 6 then.
You point to it and shout a number. 5. That one's on 5. And then the next one next to it's on 12. Which is 12.
That's on 12.
And what about the one on objective 4?
And the one in the bottom left is how many?
Objective 4. How many has that one got? The one on objective 4, how many wounds does that have? Full? Full.
That's also full.
Got you. Right, keep an eye on them knights then. 5 wounds to go through. But he's got to kill the other knight as well. He's got to shoot that one on 5 wounds. He's got to shoot it off and then charge the other one.
Yeah? Or just charge them both.
Just charge both. Can he kill both? Can he kill both? That's the question.
It's true. It's true. I mean,
if he takes both out now, that is done. That'll be game for him.
Yeah.
I'll see. How's he going to split? How's he going to split?
How many CP does Mike have left? He has 1 command point.
Mike has 1. Peter has none.
I don't know.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We're thinking. We're thinking.
And then Mike is going to get himself.
So close, guys.
Mike is going to get himself 15 points here.
Yes.
And the Swarm Lord lives.
Exactly.
Which means for the.
And what's Mike gonna do? They're both thinking. They're deep in the tank. They're deep in the tank. This is tense. This is really tense. You know, those 2 knights. If they go down to this Hive Tyrant, that's game. If he fails, he looks like he's going into one of the knights. He's going for it. Reroll wounds.
Okay. So one of the War Dogs, Mikey, has used his Blood Shield and turned off the invulnerable saves from the Hive Tyrant. It's only from that one guy.
Wow.
And that's irrelevant because he just died anyway.
Okay. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Beside the point. Good job. So,
the 1 on 5
the one
is
left is
fight
bracketed. It is going to fight now. Now, I'm just counting on Mike's points. 15 to the last, I'm assuming. So that would put him.
That Hive Tyrant's alive on what? How many wounds? Like 2?
83. So the Hive Tyrant just took 3 wounds. So he's still alive.
How many wounds does he have left, though?
Yeah, he passed one of his 5 but feel no pain.
He's got 5 left.
So he's only taken 2.
Yeah.
So he's down to
5
2.
wounds remaining.
I'm looking at this. Stranglehold's going to be taken by Mike this turn.
Yeah.
Also going to. I'm also going to add on all those to the last now because we can always count those back later.
How does he get your Stranglehold?
So he's holding bottom right.
Yep.
Oh, he's come off the top of. Is the Neurothrope behind that wall?
Is it something
I'm assuming the Neurothrope is behind the wall on objective 2.
Is there anything on objective 2? Is there anything on objective 2? Anything on?
Yes, there's nothing on objective 2.
He's just given away Stranglehold.
Why has he come off?
I don't know.
You know how I described that psychic interrogation fella being at the front?
Yeah.
I think that's also a bit grief.
Yeah, there you go. So Peter just scored 80 by holding 2 objectives. So he needs to get no prisoners to win.
Working it out, yes.
Wait, what?
Or pick Michael to the last.
Yeah, if you kill the Hive Tyrant, which he could do in shooting, sorry, the Swarm Lord, or the Hive Tyrant, but the Swarm Lord can be killed in shooting. It can. It's hard.
Now, this is really difficult to know without knowing exactly how the no prisoners brackets. Because it's one of those.
You need more than 100 to get
Well, this is the
12
thing.
points.
If he's killed 87 wounds worth of dudes, all he needs to do is kill a Pyrovault.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's 81...
Yeah, he doesn't.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so close. This is so grim. This is so hard.
It would
to
be
watch.
very funny if the brothers drew.
That would be funny. But currently, Mike's going to be getting 80 points because of to the last. So Peter will get his primary by falling out of combat with the Hive Tyrant. Then he'll draw. He needs to get one more point. If he can kill, I think all he does is fall back here. Right?
Yeah.
And then this guy tries and kills him. Tries to kill Swarm. He's on 2 wounds.
Assuming that the no prisoners is out of reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Assuming...
Although, we need to see if he's got line of sight down that angle.
Oh, I don't actually know if he does. I can't quite tell.
Oh.
I don't know if he does have line of sight. Doesn't have line of sight. Tom, go check up. Go look at it. Go look it up. This is brutal. This is so brutal. Having a good thing. You've got a bit of time. You've got plenty of time. Got about 15 minutes, you know. It is the last turn of the game. Have we had an update? Do you know what's going on?
No update at all.
Excellent.
I'm just saving it back no prisoners info.
Okay, cool.
Otherwise, it's going to be a surprise.
The point sheet keep ever so slightly changing.
They are.
We're on 68 now. Oh, for bringing it down, of course. He killed those knights.
Oh, with maxed up rank. Oh
dear.
So that'll put him on 83.
That'll put him on 83. So,
Hello,
Peter,
my name is Peter, and I need 12 points.
I have to kill the Swarm Lord.
Or the Hive Tyrant.
The Swarm Lord's on 2 wounds.
Hive Tyrant's on 5.
He's on 5, but he has Catalyst as well. If the game ends now, Peter gets 80, Mike gets 83.
Yep.
If he kills a Hive Tyrant, Peter still gets 83, but Mike only gets 78.
I think the problem is here, he has to fall out in this top section.
He does, yeah, that's it. He has to fall back here.
To get our primary.
He has to fall back here.
Because the Hive Tyrant's going to fight first.
And that's just
the turn order.
Yeah, so he's just got to shoot. That's all he's got to do. He's got to try and get line of sight. He could probably get line of sight down here. I don't know, maybe that's what he's checking. I don't know.
And we have got confirmation from the table. Pete needs 3 points, aside from his primaries, to draw the game.
I know what he's doing. He's moving here to get line of sight, and he's going to hold this objective instead. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, but that doesn't do anything.
If he goes
he gets to hold more.
No.
Yeah. Because he only holds 1.
Yes.
He's come off objective 2.
No, he already has hold more, but he can't max out primary anymore.
He doesn't have hold.
He can't. He's maxed at 8 points on primary.
Oh, please don't tell me he's going to try and blunder it for a 4 points.
I think he's going to move there and try and shoot the Swarm Lord, because if he does that to the last gun,
because
that's the other thing.
It would still be a hold more, but it doesn't matter because he's going to tap out.
Yeah, because taking hold can only get 45 points, so he can only get 8 points by holding 2 objectives. If he moves where his finger's pointing with his watch on his left hand, he's just got to kill Swarm Lord. Just 2 wounds, Tom. Just 2 wounds. That's it.
We've got some questions in the chat about the wounds on the knights. It doesn't really matter at this point. All about how much damage the knights can do, because it's the bottom of turn 5.
This is on 12.
That's on 12 on the bottom.
He's on like 5. But all he does is just fall out of combat and hold the objective.
There's the fallout. There comes the Hand of Doom.
There's the fallout.
In fact, his
more
brother's
than 3 away.
win.
Yeah, that's
very sweet.
Yeah. I mean, Mike's a good dude anyway. I'm pretty sure he'd do that to anyone.
I mean, he tabled me last time we played. So,
but there you go. What is this knight? There it is.
Weird map.
There it is. 12-inch move right here. Touches the objective.
There we go.
He might even need to charge.
I mean, that gives him the option.
Yeah. Oh, God. Right, okay.
That is a...
Right.
That looks like it's short, but that is a lot of moving around the blocks that you got to do there.
So he just needs to shoot.
His General Grievous swords are really really
Guys,
doing him dirty here, aren't they?
Yeah. We need a view of the Swarm Lord and the Knight. We need to see the Swarm Lord and the Knight. Other camera, Tom. Other camera. You got this. I believe in you.
Look at this.
This is it. It
all comes down to a 1v1 between a big beetle
And
some dude in a bin.
Dude in a tractor bin.
Yes. Yes.
This is it now. If he can shoot him up again, 2 wounds. It's so hard to do. 4-pin run. 5s to wound the Daka gun.
Does a Swarmlord still get his 3+ invulnerable save in melee?
No, so he can turn a save.
Okay.
Turn a
Ignore a damage. Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
We're going to get a view of this. This is the most important role of the game. This is win or lose now. We're so close.
There's so much going
There's
on.
so much happening.
Like an earthquake happening on the table.
You can do this, Tom. Move the camera ever so slightly more to the left. Move it slightly more to the left. What do you mean it won't? It's on an arm on the top, Tom. The arm on the top is pointing to the right. Make it point to the left.
I'm trying to work out what's the stronger battle, the Swarmlord versus the War Dog or Tom versus the camera.
The Tom versus the camera.
Although we are getting the shooting now, so we get to find out. The
We're
War
about
Dog
to
is
find
having
out.
a go.
Has he done it? I think he's done it.
We're just building up the tension.
It's all the guns firing. It's just an earthquake.
I mean, he is going to find Bigfoot. That War Dog is going to find Bigfoot.
Tom.
Yes.
He's got a sword.
He's got a sword?
He's got the sword. He could go in combat.
No.
Chop, chop, chop.
Oh no.
I mean, he would ignore one of his saves, but he only needs
And then
to
he
do
gets the
2.
4-pin vulnerable save for the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's beside the point.
Tom
I
is
wanna
really
see
not
the
having a great
sword.
time over there. Just hold the camera, Tom.
Oh yeah.
We
Look
love
at that
this.
drip.
This is great. This is a great angle. Oh god.
That is a pretty much fully
we
healthy
just
War Dog.
hottest action here on Hellstorm.
Okay, so
And the little knight even fit
Thermal
terrain.
has fired.
Okay.
The Swarmlord made his
Of
saves.
course he did. The knight
That's okay,
looks like he
Mikey.
can't fit, but we
'Cause
did
that-
agree before the game starts.
Oh, it's a winged hive tyrant that he shot.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Just shoot the Swarmlord. Shoot the fucking Swarmlord. Win the game. Shoot the Swarmlord. Win the game.
So he wanted to go out, shoot the winged hive tyrant, and charge for Swarmlord.
I love that, but you don't need to do that.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But maybe there's a line of sight issue that we can't
Here we go.
entirely
Mike is
appreciate.
getting out, so he's got to clear. He's got to clear
this
the
angle.
terrain. 2 inches, and then charge this way.
He's gonna Tokyo drift to reverse park.
I love it. I can't wait.
His ass directly.
No worries, Liam. You're good.
Suffocating with that boosie.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically the terrain's been knocked, but at the start, the TOs all came over and said the knights can all fit around the middle. So, what's the charge distance? Do we know the charge distance?
I feel like not knowing makes it more.
Has he made it? Has he made it? Failed. He needs an 8, and he's just failed.
The charge has been failed. And now he's spending the CP to re-roll it. He's only got 1 CP left, but he
Failed. He's
needs
rolled
to
a
go
4,
for
mate.
it.
He's rolled
And
a
he's
4.
failed it.
That's
What
game.
I have to say, well done, Mike.
Fair play. I think
Fair play, buddy.
that's game.
Yeah.
I think that's game. They're failing that charge. Failing that charge here means he can't deal with the Swarmlord. And
That
then
turn where he killed the 4 knights was a big enough hit back.
Yeah, there you go. So Peter's 80. We're just going to make sure to get no prisoners, correct? But it looks like that's it.
Yeah, that's psychic interrogation.
That's like an interrogation, man.
It did the work.
Imagine if you had engage. Brutal. Brutal charge there. That is...
Tell you what though, Mikey.
Huh?
What a fantastic game you picked to be on
What
the stream.
a game that was.
We had a good one.
That
at
was
game.
fantastic.
That was a very good game. There's the handshake.
There's the
Mike
handshake.
takes it 83 points to 80 after sandbagging the entire table that it was an uphill battle the entire time.
So Peter taking 45 of the primary, 30 for Ruthless.
He sends his brother back to Liverpool and he takes a point.
So is he going to have to slay him now? He's going to have to take the General Grievous bone swords and just stab him.
I tell you what.
Was his mum watching? If you're their mum, I'm so sorry for watching your children beat each other up, but you know, you just have to
I enjoyed
disown Peter now.
I had a great time.
But,
and to be honest, I feel like they've both pushed each other quite far there.
That was
So
really
I hope
good.
but Mike can make it through round 3 because he's got to be very tired.
Yeah, that was a really, really great game. Both absolute legends, clearly very skilled players. Both practice with each other all the time. Do great codexes, and it didn't feel janky either. You know, you get new codexes, it always feels a bit janky, a bit bullshit.
You don't really know what each of us doing.
Exactly. So, but it didn't feel bullshit. It felt like very fair. You know, you had trades, you had grab objectives. Peter held 5, Mike held 3, Peter held 3, Mike held none.
Very
Mike
back and forth.
5.
It was like watching Age of Sigmar.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fun. That was a fantastic game. That was so much fun. Balrock, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You are an absolute babe. You are a legend, so thank you so much for the 5. You're entered into our giveaway. Again, anyone who super chats or becomes a member this weekend is going to be entered to win 50 quid. So any hobby store that you want anywhere in the world, equivalent value of £50. So thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So, well done to Peter and Mike. Fantastic game. That was so fun. We're going to go chat to them. We're going to have a 5-minute break. We're going to bring you one more game today. It's not over. You thought that was it? You thought that was it, Tom? Did you think that was it?
Got to do another one, don't I?
You've got to do another one. I'm going to go. There's going to be one more game today. So thank you very much for watching. Tom, you've been amazing.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Those guys, Tom and Nick,
they've been really good.
The plays have been amazing. Obviously, follow Tom on Twitter, Sazneg. How do you pronounce it?
You don't.
Oh.
We'll sort it out later.
Follow, go on my Twitter. I tagged him in a post.
It's something in Welsh, it's fine.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate you all, and hopefully we'll catch you very soon for round 3. Is that all right? Tune in then. Love you all, and goodbye for now. Goodbye. Say bye. Bye. I don't care if it's all right. They're coming back.